Alright, just started recording, and yeah, last time we were in the midst of a battle when it crashed, and I think we should be able to finish this time, hopefully.
Okay.
If all goes well, and hopefully the baby will stay asleep. Um, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We were in the midst of a battle last time, and there was this guy that you two were fighting. He got trapped in vines, thanks to
Right.
Olivia, and the turn order was you, him. Sorry, not Olivia, Claudia. The turn order was you, him, and then Claudia. Yeah. So I think it's up to you now, depending on what you do, depending on what you want to do. The guy's restrained right now; he can't move.
Okay. I think I was over here because I wanted to have a distance between me and the other guy. I have a crossbow, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, is there any reason why I didn't choose to shoot him, or maybe this is when the game ended?
That was when the game crashed. So you can choose to shoot him. That would be the smart option. In fact, you can even use your insightful fighting ability on him to try to do a little bit of extra damage as well.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So what you want to do is just do a roll a d20 to see if the insightful fighting works.
Oh, I got a 20.
20, yeah, absolutely. You can basically do extra damage on him now. You can do an extra sneak attack damage, and this benefit will last for 1 minute, and so it should last throughout the remainder of the battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shoot him with a regular bolt.
Okay, shooting him with the regular bolt. Yep. Okay, roll a d20 just to see if it hits. D20 plus 9, 10, 12, 13. Let's see. That one does not. That one actually misses. So basically, it almost hit him. His armor class is. You're able to determine from your insightful fighting technique that his armor class is actually a 14. Okay, and so you rolled a 9, and whenever you aim with your crossbow, you get a +4. So you rolled a 13 in total. So not quite. But you can get him on the next round. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's see what Salvador is doing now. Salvador is struggling. He's trying to get out of the vines. He is unable to get out of the vines. He is still stuck. Now it's Claudia's turn. All right. Claudia is going to whack him with her staff. Okay, she rolled a 12, and she gets a plus, I think, 12. Okay, she gets a +5. All right, so it hits, and she's going to roll for damage. Let's see how much damage it does. 6 damage against Salvador. She smacks him upside the head, and he suffers 6 damage. Now here's what Claudia's going to do. She's going to come around to where you are. Okay. And she's going to use the help action. It's a bonus action that she can take in combat. It basically helps you set up your next attack, so you're less likely to miss next time.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's back to you again.
Okay.
And you're assisted by Claudia. So basically, if you
hold the crossbow steady or something, or
yeah, basically she's like helping you hold your crossbow steady, and you will roll a d20 to see if your attack hits.
Okay. Oh,
2, not very good. So you get to roll again. Roll again. A 12, and yep, so that will hit. And so because of Claudia's help, you get to take the 12. That's what it is. You have to roll twice and take the higher one. All right, so how much damage does your crossbow do? It does, all right, 1d10 plus 2 damage. Yeah.
1d10
plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay.
Not very much at all, 3. Lester LeFoe's crossbow bolts are shooting the wrong way a little bit. smacking into the vines surrounding Salvador instead of into his body. But still, that's a decent amount of damage. All things considered, you can tell from your insightful fighting that he is now much more weaker than he was when you started fighting, but he's still struggling and trying to get out. Alright. So, let's see.
I have a question.
Yeah,
so
sure.
If I decided to attack with like something else, like if I decided to like kick him or something like that, do I have to give up the crossbow? Like, does that cost me a turn to do that?
If you want to kick, you can do it. It won't do as much damage as the crossbow because you're not entirely skilled at unarmed fighting. Unless, yeah, it's not going to do as much damage.
For say like the taintal region or something like that.
Well, the vines right now are covering the taintal region. He's entrapped.
Right.
He's got vines writhing and filling up all the parts, all the body parts. So you can't really aim for the taint at the moment. If he escapes, because every time it's his turn, he's making a roll to escape. If he escapes, then maybe you can try to aim for the taint. And
I'd probably just shoot.
Now we're going to see if he can escape. He does not escape. All right, now it's Claudia's turn again.
What does he have to roll to escape?
He has to roll a very high number to escape. It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good spell.
Okay.
All right, so Claudia is going to go over and smack him with her staff again. And as she does it, she's yelling out, "Who are you, and why you guys been trying to kill King Darian?" She's trying to interrogate the guy. Salvador just yells out, "Piss off, bitch!" And as he yells that out, her attack connects against the side of his head. Let's see how much damage it did. Alright. 1d8 plus 3. 7 damage. Okay. Alright. 7 damage to Salvador, and then... Aha! So, Hubert, the pet lamb, pops out of the bag of holding. Finally, he's gonna do something.
Alright.
Yeah, Hubert the pet lamb pops out, and then chomps on Salvador's schnoz. Alright, lets out a bah! And bites down on his big nose. Alright, so that's an extra 3 damage as well. Alright, Salvador's looking a little green in the gills. He's still stuck. Your turn.
Okay. Alright.
Joshua Blum rolled a 4. Joshua Blum, Lester LeFoe, Lester LeFoe readies his crossbow bolt and accidentally shoots upwards into the ceiling. It hits the ceiling and then comes down. Claudia says, "Lester, what are you doing? You're shooting your eyes out."
And Lester yells, "Who is your daddy, and what does he do?"
Salvador looks like he wants to call you an idiot, but then a vine covers his mouth, entrapping his mouth. Let's see if he can escape again. I don't think he'll be able to. Oh, he rolled a 1. Okay, Salvador rolled a 1, and so not only does he not escape, he gets a little bit of damage done against him, thanks to the vines. Oh, gets 8 damage done to him. Alright. A vine wraps up under his throat and starts constricting his head. Okay, so he gets an 8 damage. 8 extra damage. Back to Claudia. Let's see if she'll be able to get an attack. Oh, Claudia rolled a 19. Claudia's doing really well. And so Claudia's like, "Listen, you better tell us who you've been working for and what's been going on, or you're gonna get suffocated completely and my lamb's gonna bite you in the nose and Lester here's gonna shoot a bolt that's gonna bounce off the ceiling and right into your taint." And as she's yelling that, she does damage against him. 5 damage.
Alright. Well, Claudia's saving the day.
Alright.
Alright.
And let's see if... Alright. Hubert, the pet lamb, I rolled for him to pop out again, but he does not. After having contributed to the battle, he keeps his ass inside the bag of holding. Alright, back to Mr. Lester LeFoe, the man with the pop gun.
Alright. Lester will aim, level the crossbow at him, and once again, I'll ask you, who is your daddy, and what does he do?
A 20! Very nice. Okay, that most definitely hits. So you want to roll your damage. Once again, your damage is 1d10 plus 2. 7 damage. Excellent. Alright, you can tell from your insightful fighting that Salvador is looking extremely weak. His face has started to turn purple because of the vines, and he looks like maybe one more hit might take him out. If you would like to shout another daddy remark, now is the good time.
One last time. Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Salvador makes...
I'm a cop, you idiot!
Oh, Salvador makes one desperate move to free himself from the vines, and he breaks free.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. He breaks free of the vines and shakes himself off, but he had to use his entire turn to break free. Okay, his entire action. So that's basically all he can do. He pulled the vines off of him and managed to stand back up. All right. So Claudia gets a bit nervous now that he's back on his feet. And yep, she rolled an 18. She gets to do her damage. She does 6 damage against him. 6 damage against him. Smacks her staff down against his kneecaps. Trying to bust the kneecaps. And thankfully, Hubert the pet lamb pops out again to try to save the day. Let's see if he'll do some damage. Hubert the pet lamb does a measly 1 point of damage.
That's better than nothing. Okay.
Yes. Back to Lester. Perhaps Lester LeFoe can deliver the final blow. Be nice and dramatic if that were the case.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, very nice. Roll your damage. That hits. 12. 12 damage. Excellent. So Lester LeFoe shoots one final bolt at the guy, and Salvador goes down in a heap. Okay. Now Salvador, you actually did overkill damage, so he's actually bleeding out at the moment, lying on the ground, bleeding out. And so Claudia says, "All right, Lester. I think maybe we should try interrogating this guy. I can try to stabilize him and then constrain him again with my staff, but we need somebody to tell us what's been going on around here."
All right, sounds good. All right, let's go.
All right. So, basically, if you stabilize him, I'll have Claudia try first. She'll make a roll, and then yeah, she rolled 17. Okay, so she stabilizes him. Basically, it's like CPR, just CPR to try to get him from bleeding out again. Okay, and so previously his HP was like negative something. Okay, now she just brought him back to 0. So when you're at 0 HP, you're unconscious.
Okay.
Okay. So if you remember last time, Claudia grabbed some food from the, I think the other rooms of this dormitory.
Right.
I think she grabbed like a piece of bread. Yeah, she grabbed a loaf of bread. All right, so she's going to shove the loaf of bread into Salvador's mouth to try to give him a little bit of HP.
Okay.
Let's see how much it does. She gives him back 5 HP. All right, so she shoves the loaf of bread to his mouth, and then pushes his mouth up and makes him swallow it. And he's like, he's like coughing and choking. He's back at 5 HP. All right, then she she hits him with her staff to try to constrain him, and she yells out the magic elvish word, Evrash! All right, she hits him with her staff, and then once again, like a whole bunch of vines pop up and constrain him. All right, let me just see if her staff actually did damage though. Okay, her staff actually didn't do damage. She just smacked him kind of lightly, but he's constrained now.
Okay.
And now he's looking. I mean, he's looking very weak. Like he doesn't really have much strength to talk. But you can try to ask him stuff. Try to interrogate him.
Yeah. Okay. Who are you working for?
All right. And so he's weak and he can't really answer. And he says, "Piss off, old lady. I'm not telling you anything." You guys are still in disguise. Remember? Yeah. So
If you have any information about who tried to assassinate the king, tell us now. Otherwise, this sword will puncture your taint.
That's right. You still have your sword that you haven't used from the beginning. Okay. So tell me. So you're threatening him, right? So tell me what you do with the sword and how you prepare to make good on your threat.
I unsheath the sword, and I take the tip and hold it about an inch from his taint.
And I'm going to say that the vines, seemingly with a mind of their own, part ever so slightly, allowing you to point the pointy bit right up to the nether regions. Okay. So Salvador here is not doing so well, and it's a pretty good ploy you've got going, pretty good threat. And so he says, "Look, it wasn't me. I'm just the number 2, all right? The man you're looking for is Etter. He's gone off now, and there's a good chance you won't be able to stop him. Him and the others are going to be down in Lura Square preparing the bomb for the onset of Immortality Day."
The bomb?
And he looks at you and then lets out a small laugh. He's like, "That's right. You have the sword, but we have the bomb." Claudia's like, "What's this about a bomb? Listen, you better tell us everything or I'll smack you again right and good." And she levels her staff of vines at him and, well, she actually doesn't hit him, but she levels it at him threateningly. And so Salvador looks at both of you and says, "You two don't know anything, do you? Us Nevans, we've been trying to off the king as part of the onset of Immortality Day to usher in a new regime for Tartec. A new regime where Nevans no longer have to be discriminated against and we can bring back the true power of the Constantine family name."
Where is Constantine? We know he didn't die.
Salvador says, "I'm not telling you nothing, old lady Copper. You don't fool me."
Jab him. I'm going to jab him a little bit in the taintal region. Just enough to get things moving a little bit.
Okay. You're going to jab him in the taintal region, so I rolled for you. Your jab will connect. And what I want you to do is, I think your short sword is 1d6 plus 2 piercing damage. I'll do that for you, so you don't have to. 1d6 plus 2. I'll roll for you. Joshua, 6 damage. You just put him into overkill again. He's bleeding out. Claudia says, "Oh no, he gonna die. We gotta stabilize
Alright, Claudia,
him."
make with that bread again.
Okay, so Claudia's able to stabilize him again, brings him back to 0. Okay, so Claudia shoves the remainder of the loaf of bread into his mouth and makes him swallow it again. He's back at 3 HP.
Was that convincing enough?
He's like, "Oh my god." He's coughing up like breadcrumbs and clutching at his taint, which sent him into overkill. Claudia's like, "Listen, you don't mess with my buddy Lester LeFoe. He's a man out of control. He'll stab you in the taint, have you bleeding like a stuck pig, and then I'm gonna bring you back to life again and he's gonna stab you again. That's how it's gonna go until we finally get some answers out of you. You understand?" And finally Salvador hangs his head and his tongue is hanging out. And he's just looking in a sorry state. And he jerks his head over towards a table here. You see this table here?
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "See for yourself." So Claudia goes over to the table. You see this big blue thing? This blue blanket?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Claudia moves the blue blanket aside, okay? And there's a crystal ball underneath.
Uh-huh.
All right. So both of you peer into the depths of the crystal ball, looking into it, and the crystal ball is extremely cloudy. And then the longer you peer into it, finally an image starts to solidify. And you see the image of Sebastian Constantine in the crystal ball. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And this is not the Sebastian Constantine that you saw in that hallucinogenic vision, Lester. All right? This is a much older looking Sebastian Constantine, and he's in a wheelchair. He's in a wheelchair, and he's being cared upon by two young women on either side. You don't know where he is. He can't see you. This just appears to be you peering down upon him at some undisclosed location. But he's in a wheelchair, and the two women caring for him are trying to feed him soup. But he's not really able to take it in. It's dribbling from his mouth. His eyes are glazed over. It looks like he's paralyzed, like he actually cannot move. And Claudia says, "Didn't you say this guy like fell from the top of the castle when he was fighting your dad?
Yeah.
And like smashed into a bunch of rocks on the way down or something like that?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like them rocks did a heck of a lot of damage against him.
It didn't kill him.
Didn't kill him, but based on what you can see in the depths of the crystal ball, it seems that Sebastian Constantine is, for all accounts and purposes, a vegetable right now.
Yeah. Although, was it because of his injuries, or didn't he also catch the rebound of the Shadow in the Moonlight spell?
Salvador looks up at you and says, "We knew all about that Shadow in the Moonlight spell. When Sebastian Constantine was found by Etter years ago, we brought him back to Neva and managed to nurse him back to health. And the Shadow in the Moonlight spell, well, it can be reversed from what I understand. And I don't have a very good understanding of magic. I don't trust it. But it can be reversed if somebody's surrounded by close companions over a period of time. They can come back to life, so to speak, and stop being a living shadow. But that wasn't enough for Sebastian. He smashed into so many rocks on the way down that he's been paralyzed ever since. He can't talk. He can barely open his eyes. And he's been sitting in that wheelchair just like that. The once great Sebastian Constantine reduced to a goddamned rotten turnip, sitting and rotting and waiting to die. This is what Tartec did to him. And so that's why we've come to Tartec, to have revenge."
Well, makes sense.
So Claudia, by the way, Claudia's going to put her turban back on, actually, because she's tired of it. She's tired of doing battle in fancy clothes. She puts her turban back on and I accidentally marked her as dead for a second. She puts her turban back on and loses the disguise. Do you want to stay in your old lady disguise?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the old lady disguise.
You stay in the crazy old lady disguise, all right? And then Claudia asked the guy, "All right, so you Nevin's been working for Sebastian Constantine, but if he's such a vegetable right now, then what does it really matter? Why have you been trying to do all this craziness, trying to restore his name and whatnot? And who is Etter? What's Etter's connection to this whole thing? Is he just the ringleader of your little band?" And then Salvador looks up and down at the two of you and says, "Do you know what Etter's last name is?"
Enlighten us. Could it be, possibly, maybe, Constantine?
Salvador nods. Etter's last name is Constantine. He's the son of Sebastian Constantine. And when his father went missing all those years ago, he's the one who found his father washed up on the shores of the Blue River. And then he took him back to Neva. And his sisters, or I should really say, our sisters, have been taking care of father for the longest time. I'm Etta's half-brother and the number 2 in command here. Claudia says, "You two don't get along too well, right? We had some infernal arguments going on upstairs. A bit of old brotherly feuding going on, perhaps?" And Salvador shakes his head as if he doesn't want to answer. Claudia gets pissed off and tries to hit him again. It's rolled 13! Oh dear, how much damage is going to be done? Oh my god, she does 11 damage against him.
It kills him.
He's bleeding out again. Let's see if she can revive him. Oh, she's not able to revive him. She'll try again. Oh, she's able to revive him the second time. Alright, he's back to 0 HP. Oh, is there any more food left that she can stuff into his mouth?
Well, I mean, at this point, does it really matter? If we just leave him there, I mean, would he eventually come to, or he just stays like comatose?
He'll be, I mean, he'll be unconscious and he's trapped with the vines. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, there's someone I can find him. I mean, we have to get to the square.
Yeah, you have to get to the square.
I think we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
I think I have some food though.
Oh yeah, sure. Shove something in. Shove something in his mouth. See if he can tell you anything else.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me see what I have.
Because if you remember, he was that dude that apparently freed Olivia the orangutan at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Claudia says, "I want to figure out what his connection is with the orangutan."
Yeah. Hold on a second. I have. Wait. I thought I hit something.
I think you got. Let's see.
Maybe not. I have a healing spell, actually.
You probably don't want to waste one on this guy. You can feed him serpent venom and see what happens.
Yeah.
As you're as you're fiddling around your bed, I'm actually going to just have Claudia run upstairs. Run upstairs to the kitchen. There was still some soup. Actually, yeah. There's a bowl of soup up here in the kitchen. So she runs up, grabs a bowl of soup, runs back down, and then stuffs the piping hot soup into poor Salvador's mouth. Let's just see how much it did. Alright, he's back to 3 HP. Salvador's back to 3 HP, and he's like, "My god, you people! You people are insane! Stop doing this to me!"
Then tell us what we need to know. What was the connection with the orangutan? And what the hell was the whole thing about the slug's kiss?
And so, Salvador, after having suffered much at the hands of you two, begins to spill all. So Salvador says, "The slug's kiss is the poison we use. It's a paralyzing agent. And, well, truth be told, we were supposed to get a shipment of it from Neva in order to prepare the bomb. We figured out a way to turn it into a gas. We're going to unleash it on Lura's square, and I very much doubt that you two will be able to get there in time. Once it's unleashed on Lura's square, everyone there will be paralyzed, including King Darian. And the bomb is on that little statue of his that he's about to unveil at the onset of Immortality Day. And the thing about it is you'll never be able to find where that bomb is. We figured out how to hide it from naughty and unnecessary eyes. As far as the orangutan goes, well, because we ran out of all the slug's kiss we needed to make the bomb, I was tasked with finding extra slug's kiss. And so I saw that great slug in Lura's square in that traveling circus, that traveling menagerie. So one night I decided to extract the poison that we needed manually. But unfortunately, while I was doing it, that goddamned orangutan noticed me and started going crazy. Started to try to break out of its cage to attack me. And so I decided that I need to create a diversion, and I smacked it with a blowgun dart, and the slug's kiss had the usual reaction that it has on orangutans. It caused that orangutan to go crazy and rampage through the town. All the guards went after the orangutan, leaving me with relative freedom to extract the poison.
Huh. Okay, it's going to be like this. Answer these questions. Do you want to live, yes or no?
Yes.
Do you want to keep your taint in one piece? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to do those things, then you, Salvador, are going to take us to the bomb, and you are going to defuse it. Otherwise, where you have now one taint, you will have two.
Salvador looks at you nervously. I can't defuse the bomb. It's been... I myself don't actually know where it is on the statue. Etter and Jasper and Bernard were the ones that attached it, and then... He looks at you exasperatedly. He's like, look, it's had an invisibility spell cast on it. Do you understand? Etter, because of what happened to his father, Etter studied magic. He learned to master the invisibility spell so that nobody else in the Constantine family would be able to become a shadow in the moonlight again. He's mastered the spell, and he's made all of the other Nevans in our sleeper cell group master it as well, except for me. I was the only one that couldn't master magic, and I was the only one that didn't want to, because look at what it did to Sebastian Constantine. Look at what it did to my father, our father. I was against it from the start, and that's why Etter and I have constantly been at odds. I don't agree with his usage of magic, and I honestly cannot defuse the bomb for you because I don't know where it is. He wouldn't tell me. After I messed up with the Slug's Kiss shipment, he wouldn't tell me.
Well,
Claudia looks at him and says, "Then we really got no use for you, do we?"
Yeah.
And Claudia says, "And wait a minute. So, if you screwed up the Slug's Kiss shipment, and if you also set Olivia the orangutan free, would you also happen to be the one that snuck into the king's bedchambers and tried to off him while he was dangling his dice on a gigolo's forehead?" Salvador looks at the two of you angrily and says, "That was me. I've had it with Etter. Him and I just don't see things the same way. He insisted that we stick to the plan and that we cast invisibility on that bomb and that we unleash it on Immortality Day. But why wait? We could have killed the king so much earlier and thrown Tartec into a state of unrest so much earlier. But Etter is all about plans. He's all about magic. He's all about deliberate decisions. Once I had let that damn orangutan free, I had enough Slug's Kiss to put some on my dagger, and then I decided I would show Etter. I'd be the one to kill the king myself. And then if I did that, then all of the Nevans would bow and respect me, not goddamn Etter Constantine, an annoying half-brother of mine.
Salvador.
The annoying true son of Sebastian Constantine. And he's ranting now.
Salvador, you know what the penalty is for trying to assassinate the king here, don't you?
Yeah, says Claudia, and you didn't do a real good job of it either. Like, I mean, maybe you should have listened to your brother, climbing in, trying to do everything, solo, lone wolf style, only to get your ass beat up by a gigolo. You didn't anticipate him, did you? Then again, who could really anticipate King Darian the Diddler's naughty habits?
Salvador, you've been living here long enough to know what the penalties are. I don't need to remind you. So you can either cooperate with us and help us, and maybe we can help lessen your sentence. Or you can have a new taint.
What do you want me to do? Salvador says.
You can help us defuse the bomb. You can find someone that can help us do that.
All right, Salvador says. Let me out of these damn vines and I'll help you.
All right.
Up to you if you want to trust him or not.
We need something to. Let's get that. Is that like a rope or something, or like a blanket rather? That's right over there.
Yeah, I mean it's a big blue blanket. You want to wrap him up in it and carry him?
I'll just create wrap it up so that I can create some like artificial like handcuffs.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Created some artificial handcuffs on him, basically using this. This gets, I'll make it small. Artificial handcuffs him. He's still wrapped in the vine, so he's totally restrained.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to drag him if you want to get him out of here.
That's okay. We can cut the vines.
Okay.
Or
all
release
right.
the vines.
I'm gonna say that you cut the vines with your sword. All right. So, what do you want to say to him?
All right. It's gonna be like this. You're gonna walk in front. You're gonna keep your hands behind your back. I'm gonna keep the sword at your back. If any monkey business whatsoever, your team becomes 2. You got that?
Salvador says, "This is idiotic. I can't defuse the bomb anyway, and besides, you'll never get there in time. The thing's set to go off at midnight in Lura Square. You don't have enough time."
Well, we better start walking.
And Claudia says, "Actually, Lester, we don't have that much time." So, over the course of everything, the party and the fight, it's 11 p.m. right now.
Okay. All right. Well, we better get going.
All right. So you guys go back upstairs.
Well, let's have Salvador lead the way. Tell us the quickest way out of here.
Stupid pigs, Salvador says. Stupid old lady. And then Claudia holds her staff at him threateningly and says, "Who you calling stupid, you no good assassin?" And you really aren't a very good assassin, by the way. So Salvador leads you to this doorway here, okay? And he unlatches it, all right? And the doorway actually leads down a long tunnel, and it seems to be a tunnel that runs analogous to the huge Tartec sewer system, okay? It appears to be some kind of long secret passageway that runs through the sewer system, and you guys walk down it. Okay, as you walk down the passage, I'll take you back to the main Tartec map. Okay. As you walk down the passage, you get the sense that the passage is actually leading down the mountaintop from that all the manors are situated on. It's leading down directly from the mountaintop, straight through Lowtown and straight down to Lura Square. Okay.
Okay.
And as you walk down through the sewers, it goes up and down through tunnels, and you can actually hear large sounds coming from the ground above you. You can hear lots of wagons, lots of people moving about. Everybody is congregating at Lura Square for the onset of Immortality Day. All right, imagine like a Times Square in New York City. It's that type of thing. You can hear like lots of sounds, lots of voices. You can hear lots of people shouting in excitement as they all gather to the square. All right.
Okay.
All right, so as you meander through the corridor, it's a pretty long trip, unfortunately, because the ground is fairly uneven, and you've got to push Salvador in front of you along the way, and he kind of is holding back and kind of resisting a few times, so he requires some prodding. All right, it unfortunately takes around 45 minutes or so to make your way all the way down through the mountain and into Lura Square. All right?
15 minutes left.
Yeah. And you come out of a back alleyway behind the main area of Lura Square. Okay? And Lura Square is crowded as hell. All right?
Okay.
All right, so let me actually just put Salvador in here. So Lura Square is crowded as heck, and you can hear a whole bunch of a whole bunch of annoying chorus voices emerging from all around the square, and it appears that King Darian has installed the same speaker system that he uses in the castle around the square, and it's blaring the Tartec national anthem, the All Hail the Immortal King Darian song. All right.
Sounds like somebody should be goose stepping to this.
Yep. And as you can see all of the people have congregated in the square. See, you can see like Lady Malus up in front, and all the nobles from the party. And yeah, let me just mark. You're still in disguise. You've been dressed as an old lady this whole time. Okay, so you can see that Lady Malus up front here, and all those nobles, including the guy that likes screwing animals.
Nice.
And you can see the various people that you've met during your adventure, the beggars, the food sellers, and the weapon sellers from the square. You can see Mother Methany Ann is right here. And remember Joan and Alice, the prostitutes that live near your house? They're hanging out here too. And Evelyn is up here, and there's Olivia the orangutan chewing on a banana in her cage. Okay. And at the front of it all is the great King Darian. You see him?
I do.
Yes. Now King Darian is giving a speech. He's got a mug of coffee in one hand, and he's standing atop this large table here, actually the banquet table, and he's gesturing happily to everyone in the crowd, and he's saying, "The onset of a new immortality day, and the celebration of my everlasting youth, my everlasting power, and my everlasting strength to keep Tartec the most wondrous kingdom in all of the known world. We have gathered today to witness the unveiling of the most beautiful statue ever commissioned by the greatest of artists. This statue shall stand as an everlasting sign of the greatness that is King Darian the Fourth."
Oh, he's stroking his own wang up there.
He takes a huge sip of the coffee from his cup and says, "By the gods, I'm so full of life, so full of energy, it tingles."
Quick question, are any of the Imperial Rangers there?
You don't see them at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that we recognize besides Darian and orangutan?
Look over on the far corner. Can you see on the far corner of the square?
Far corner. Yeah.
There's Small Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's Small Dog,
Okay.
and you see Joan and Alice, and you see all the nobles and stuff, but everybody's watching King Darian. Everybody's kind of transfixed on King Darian. All right?
Okay.
And so King Darian is shouting at the guards. You see the huge canvas covering the statue?
Yes.
He's shouting at the guards, and he's saying, "Unveil the beautiful statue and the sign of my leadership, please. Let's get this party started." And his coffee cup is empty now, and he says, "More elixir of eternal life, please." So everybody's watching the unveiling, and the guards here are getting ready to pull the canvas down with the help of Small Dog. Do you want to do something?
Yes, I want to shout, and I'm gonna hold Salvador in front of me,
Sure.
and prod him with the sword. And I'm gonna yell, "Stop!" And I'm gonna whisper in Salvador's ear. And I want you to say as loudly as you can what's going to happen if they unveil that statue.
Okay, so you yell, "Stop!" and then several people in the square turn to you, including like Mother Methany Ann and Joan and Alice are like, "Hey, Lester!" And King Darian's like, it's Mortimer LeFoe! No, the son of Mortimer LeFoe! Welcome! You've made it here as well. So you prod Salvador and tell him to yell something out?
Yeah. I'm gonna say first, like, do not, King Darian, please do not do anything. Listen to what this man has to say. Your life is in danger.
All right. So I'm guessing you like hold your sword pointed at Salvador's back.
Yes.
All right. And Salvador looks at you, looks at the king, and says, "Enter! Now would be convenient if you can hear me right now." All right. So he said something, but not exactly what you wanted him to say, I think. All right. So here's what happens. A lot of stuff happens at the moment. Turn your attention down towards the statue, okay? What happens is that these two guards right here, these two guards pull down the tarp that's covering the statue, okay? So you see the statue now?
Is that what I think it is?
It's a Buddha statue.
Yeah.
So first of all, it looks really weird. It's King Darian with really long Buddha earlobes holding a coffee mug in his right hand and sitting like a fat ass and relaxing. Okay?
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay? So those two guards pulled down the overlay on top of the statue. But then those two guards also toss off their suits of armor. Okay, they toss off their suits of armor, and they are actually revealed as Nevans. Okay, Nevan assassins. They're revealed as Nevan assassins. All right. And then here on the side of the statue, you see somebody pop up as if they've been invisible this whole time. Somebody materializes, and it's Etter. Okay? Etter materializes right here. He sees the scene in front of him. He sees you with Salvador, and he shakes his head and saying, "Salvador, you idiot!" And then he turns to his men, and as he turns, immediately an explosion erupts from the bottom of the statue. The whole bomb of Slug's Kiss, the weaponized bomb, explodes out from the statue, and this is what it looks like. It radiates out gas in an arc, like this. Okay, you see it? Yeah.
I can't see it on my screen, but...
you see the green stuff that I'm drawing?
No.
Oh, not at all?
No.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, here, I'll fix it. I'll fix it. This is what it looks like. You see it now?
I still don't see it, but you can just... Oh, yeah, now it is. Yeah. I see it.
So it radiates out, basically. I guess they figured out a way to turn the Slug's Kiss into a gas, all right? And it shoots out from the statue, just spraying everybody that's within this radius, all right? So all of the people that are within this radius immediately freeze up, okay? They're paralyzed. They cannot move. And this includes King Darian. King Darian is stuck on the table with like his coffee cup almost in mid-sip, and like his eyes are looking bewildered, and he looks like he's like, "Oh shit, shit's about to get real." All right, and so all of these nobles, okay, they're also all stuck in place. They can't move. All right, Lady Malus is stuck. The guy that screws animals is stuck. The other guy with the goldfish named Nemo is stuck. Mother Methany Ann's also stuck, and yeah, people cannot move. All right. Now it seems
How about
that
Claudia or the orangutan? Olivia, orangutan, is she also?
So Olivia was also hit by the gas, but you remember what happens when orangutans are hit by Slug's Kiss?
Yeah, she's going nuts.
Yeah, so she's going nuts, okay? She's actually smashing against the bars of her cage. Like, she's doing, like, headbutts against the bars of her cage and doing, like, front flips with, like, her feet smacking against the door, okay? She's trying to get out.
Yeah.
But everyone else is paralyzed. Evelyn, next to her, is paralyzed. Now, the people that aren't paralyzed are you guys, because the radius did not reach you guys. You guys were far enough. So you guys are not paralyzed. Joan and Alice are actually not paralyzed, and they're looking around bewildered.
And some of these guards are not.
And some of these guards are not as well. There are 2 up here, okay, and there are 2 down here. And the other people that aren't paralyzed are obviously the Nevans, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Nevans aren't paralyzed because they've taken that antidote, remember? You took it. You took the antidote, so you wouldn't be paralyzed anyways.
Yeah.
I'll actually have, so Claudia hasn't taken it. I'll have to have her do that soon. All right. So, as all of this is happening, as all this chaos is going on, you notice that, so a couple other Nevans have popped out of the woodwork. They all appear to have been using the invisibility spell. All right.
Hmm.
So you've got some stuff going on here. So, Constantine, Etter Constantine, you now know what his name is, all right? Etter Constantine is over here on the side. He actually jumps up onto the table where King Darian is. And he looks at the stupefied king who's paralyzed and says, "A final end for King Darian in order to celebrate the rebirth of the Constantine name. A fitting end for this stupid monarch who thinks he's immortal." And he holds up a dagger, okay, and aims it towards King Darian's neck. All right? As he does that, suddenly an arrow shoots out from behind you guys and knocks the dagger from his hand. All right? Look who it is behind you. The cavalry.
Yeah, cavalry has appeared. Imperial Rangers on one of their first missions, maybe? Or no, maybe not. I don't know.
Well, it's one of their missions. It's Esmeralda and a cadre of Imperial Rangers.
Yeah.
And then Esmeralda says, "I knew it was a good idea that we stuck behind in hiding. Figured something like this was going to happen, but King Darian wouldn't listen to me." And so the Imperial Rangers prepare their bows. Etter curses and looks at you guys and then says, "Lester LeFoe. I was going to exterminate you after I was done with the king, but looks like I'll have a chance to kill 2 birds with 1 stone." And so he turns his attention towards you. The Nevans turn their attention towards you, and we're going to have a large-scale battle break out. All right?
Okay.
All right. So the way this is going to work is basically there's going to be your chance. So there's going to be you, Claudia, and then I'm going to have 2 other turns. I'm going to have a turn that's for all enemies, and I'm going to have a turn that's for all allies. Okay? So that's how it'll work as far as the turn-based combat goes. All right?
Okay.
So what I want you to do is I want you to roll for initiative to see what the order is for you. 18, pretty good. All right. I'll have Claudia make a roll. Claudia is 6, so that's not great. She might end up last, we'll see. All right, now I'm gonna have roll for all the enemies. 11. All right, the enemies will probably be going after you. And then the allies. Okay, the allies get to go last. All right.
Okay.
So Lester LeFoe gets to go first. All right. What will you do?
Okay.
Quite a lot of stuff going on. So it's up to you to strategically choose what your best move would be. And remember, everyone in this bubble of gas is immobilized, except for Olivia, the orangutan.
Yeah. I have a quick question. If I ran over to Olivia to try to free her, that would take 2 turns, right?
That would take, so let's see, so your movement is 30, so let's see, 5, 10, so let's see how many squares, 5, 10, 15, 20, I'll actually mark them, yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you can sprint. Basically what that is if you sprint, so normally on a turn you get to do an action and you get to move. If you sprint, you use both your movement and your action to get additional movement, like an additional couple squares of movement, so you can move 60 feet if you sprint. Alright, so let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So yeah, you'd be able to, if you sprint, you can sprint towards Olivia, and if you want to open up her cage, you can.
I could do it all in 1 turn?
Yeah, but you can't do anything else that turn. You're just sprinting straight to Olivia, and you cannot attack.
Okay. Alright.
And Salvador does not get an attack of opportunity on you because you tied up his hands.
Yeah. I'm gonna save that as a something to do in a bit. I am first going to aim the crossbow at Tor, but I'm gonna shoot him with the smokescreen bolt.
Ah, very nice. Okay, good. All right, roll to see if it hits.
Well, actually, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. What is that called? The insightful fighting.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. Do your insightful fighting against Eder. Roll a d20 to see if you can determine stuff and do your extra damage on him.
For some reason, it's not rolling.
Oh, there you go. 12. Okay. Oh, you rolled a 19. Okay, you rolled twice. Just do it again. We'll take the third value, whatever it is. 7. Okay. So unfortunately, you're so you're not able to use your insightful fighting against Eder because basically that value, that 7, is competing against Eder's charisma, and he's got very high charisma. All right, and so unfortunately, you aren't able to use your insightful fighting on him.
Okay.
You're unable to determine his strengths and weaknesses.
Okay. Well, I'll just shoot him.
All right. So you're gonna shoot him with the smokescreen bolt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Roll me a d20 to see if it hits. 19. Very good. That is going to hit. All right. So let's see. All right, smokescreen bolt. All right, so you shoot at her with a smokescreen bolt. Okay, and so smoke explodes out from Eder in a 10-foot radius. Okay, so it looks like this. You can see that, right? Yeah. 1, 5, 10. Okay, so this whole area is kind of obscured, including King Darian, including the nobles. Yes. And including Aneve in here. So as long as they stay in that area, they can't really make attacks very well. They're going to miss, which is a good idea because it means that Eder can't decide to just shove a knife into King Darian's throat. It's going to be hard for him. All right. They can always move out of that region if they want to, but for now, you've prevented them from really doing an immediate attack on the king's life. Okay, and so you get to also roll for damage when your bolt hit Eder. So I think it's 1d10 plus 2.
Yeah.
All right, 9 damage. Pretty good. All right, your bolt smacks into Eder, does 9 damage against him. And let me just mark that down. Yeah. All right. Excellent. Now, do you want to do anything else? Do you want to move?
Well, I can do something else this turn?
Yeah, because remember, you didn't move at all. You can you still have your movement.
Okay. Yeah. I want to move. I'm still holding Well, yeah, I want to just move closer.
Okay.
I'll tell Claudia, hey, cover Salvador.
Okay.
And move.
Yeah. So where are you gonna move? You can move to wherever you want.
Move up here. Wait, can I move all the way to Claudia, or is that too far? Or not Claudia, Olivia.
You can't, because that will require 60 squares. Yeah, you can only move 30.
30.
So every square is 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, like that. Okay, right there.
Okay.
Next to the.
Yeah. Oh, you're right by the prostitutes. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, so now it's the enemy's turn. All right. So, so Etter here, Etter's coughing, okay, trying to get out of the smoke. All right. You see Etter make a movement with his hands. He touches himself, and then he goes invisible. All right. Remember, he mastered the invisibility spell. He goes invisible and disappears amongst the smoke. All right. So you can't actually see him anymore. You're not exactly sure where he is. All right.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to take care of the remaining Nevans. Okay. So these guys start moving towards you. These guys all start moving towards you. And they move past Small Dong, who's looking flabbergasted at everyone. This guy down here on the bottom, this guy here attacks the poor soldier next to him, smacks a knife into the guy's rib cage, and the guy kind of falls down in a heap. Alright, so one of these guys is basically lying on the ground. He's not dead yet, but he's like fallen down. Alright, and so that's basically all the enemies can do right now. So you don't know where Etter is. That's the main thing to worry about.
Okay.
All right. Now it's time for Claudia. All right. So Claudia's over here, and Claudia says, "All right, Mr. Salvador, a real fine mess we're in right now. You better not try anything stupid, or else I'll smack you." And so, let's see. Claudia is going to actually, so she's going to move closer to you to kind of join up with you, and she's pulling Salvador along as well. So she moves closer to here, okay? And Salvador is with you as well. She can't really do much else because she's...
Take the antidote?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. She takes the antidote. Yeah, so she immunes herself against the Slug's Kiss gas, all right? Now it's time for the allies to jump into the fight, all right? So, you've got Esmeralda here. Esmeralda and the Imperial Rangers. They come up behind you guys, and then they ready their bows, and Esmeralda shouts, "Fire!" And then they fire a whole scattering bunch of arrows targeting the Nevans. Okay? Alright, so all the Nevans take damage. This guy up here, I'll just roll to see how much damage they take. Alright, so not that much. They all take like 2 points of damage. Okay? After getting hit by arrows. Alright. And now, I believe, we are back to... Oh! Wait, actually... Okay, actually... So, as the battle is raging on, you hear somebody shout out your name from the rooftops above. Alright, the rooftops down to your left side, and you hear someone shout out, "We're here to help, Lester!" And so, you see someone else. Look who it is. Look down south.
Okay. Is it
on the rooftops? Can you see that?
Wait. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So it is. Remember, your friends from the Sleight of Hand Society. Okay. It's Ramiro, and Ines, the 2 Sleight of Hand members. Okay, and they're standing on the rooftop, and they've got crossbows mounted on the rooftop. And Ramiro's wearing that vest that you gave him. Remember the vest? The teleporting vest? Yeah. All right. He's wearing the vest that you gave him, and they shoot off rounds as well against the Nevans. Okay, so they shoot off arrows against the Nevans, and let's just see him. Oh, okay, so their bows are significantly more powerful than the bows of the Imperial Rangers, possibly because they purchased them illegally. All right, so the Nevans get 10 damage done to each of them. All right, like scatter shots.
Oh man.
Scatter shots. The Nevans get 10 damage done to each of them, and then it's back to you, Lester. Oh, there's some other guards around here. There's some other guards, but the guards are kind of, they're too scared to enter the.
Doing anything.
Yeah, they can't really do anything. They're basically putzing around. It shows you how great the Tartec police force is.
Yeah.
Back to you.
I'm gonna yell to Claudia to try to take Salvador and make their way and get the king to safety. Yeah. And I'm gonna make a break for Olivia and free her to create some havoc.
All right, so let's do things one at a time. Which one will you do first? You yell at Claudia to... Okay, so Claudia on her next turn will follow your instructions. All right, so you're going to move to Olivia, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to move there, yeah.
All right, so move there, and...
Yeah. Try to free the cage, or open the cage.
All right, you open the cage, and Olivia pops out, the enraged orangutan. She's like, hoo, 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 and she's, spazzing, doing backflips over and over again. So she's out now, and Olivia will act as an ally in the battle. All right. So you still have, so what you do is you still have an action to take.
Okay.
Because you just did your movement and opened a cage, and you were able to do it all at once. So you don't know where Etter is.
But it's an...
And actually, so one thing I'll let you know here. Look at your character sheet. I'll bring it up to you.
Okay.
So if you look at your character sheet, if you go down to your actions, you have one action that you haven't had a real opportunity to use so far, and it's called Eye for Detail. Do you see it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Eye for Detail, and what this is in combat, Lester can use a bonus action to make a wisdom check to spot a hidden creature or object. So basically what this is, it lets you detect people who are invisible.
Oh.
That's what it's used for. So if you think Etter Constantine might be near you, you can use that to try to determine where he might be. But it's a bit of a crapshoot at the moment. You're not exactly sure where he is.
Okay. Well, I think for now, there's an Nevan right there. I'll just shoot that guy.
Okay, sure. Excellent. Yeah, sure. Do me a d20 to see if it hits. Ah! Lester LeFoe's shot goes sideways and smacks one of the lizards instead. Evelyn, next to you, is paralyzed, but you can see her eyes blinking at you furiously, being like, "Don't damage the merchandise." Lester LeFoe not quite mastered the art of accuracy so far. All right. Okay, so that's you. That's basically all you can do. It's time for the enemies. All right. So the enemies are coming around to you. You've got Nevans moving back and forth. Okay, so one of the guards gets attacked by one of the Nevans again. One of the guards dies, actually, unfortunately. One of the Tartec police guys dies. It's killed by a Nevan. They're coming around, try to get you. The king is still shrouded in smoke. Nobody can really touch him at the moment. All right, but the Nevans are coming around towards you. Okay. All right, and now, what's Etter been up to? All right, let's see. Etter has some interesting abilities. Etter's abilities are magic based. So let's just see what he can do. Alright. Okay, so Etter has moved somewhere, but you're not exactly sure where he's moved. But he's potentially somewhere nearby. Alright? So you see the Neven right in front of you. The Neven right in front of you tries to attack. And he misses. You dexterously dance about. Okay? And then another Neven tries to shoot you with a crossbow, and... Oh, okay, he hits. Alright. How much damage will you suffer? Alright, you get hit by a crossbow bolt, you suffer 4 damage. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you're at 15 HP right now. Okay? You were at 19 from the battle with Salvador, where he hit you with a little dart. You're at 15 right now. Okay? So you have 3 Nevens in the vicinity. Etter is somewhere, and there's another Neven down at the bottom. Alright? So, then it's Claudia's turn. So Claudia, you said, is going to run and try to save the king, right?
Right.
Alright. Now, did you intend her to try to barricade, to run her way through all of these nobles here, or to run around them?
It's probably easier just to run around them.
Yeah, so she's going to have to run around him, which means she might not be able to make it all the way around. Let's see. 5, 10... See, okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so she can make it, like, to right here. Alright? Dragging Salvador with her. This guy's getting dragged around a lot. She can make it to here. Alright? And that's about all she can do.
She needs him as a hostage.
Yeah, she got him as a hostage.
I don't know how much he's worth at this point.
Yeah, it's not worth that much at this point. Alright, so now you got some allies. Alright, so the Imperial Rangers are going to shoot off their bows again. Alright? Gonna fire off their bows and see how much damage they can do. Alright, so they do another 2 damage against the various Nevens. Alright. Okay. So you see the guy in front of you take an arrow to the knee. And the Nevens are not terribly strong from what it appears. And so the guy in front of you is looking particularly weak. Alright? Alright, so meanwhile, then, let's see. You got these other guards nearby, alright? These putsy police force guards, okay? One of them trips on his own shoelaces and falls into the poison cloud. He gets paralyzed. He screams out, "Dagnabbit!" And another guy is, like, spazzing out here. And then he goes to hide behind the lion cage. Alright? Joan and Alice are also looking very scared, but they come up behind you here, and they're like cheering. They're like, "We support you, Lester!" It does really no good, but yeah. Alright, meanwhile, you have, on the bottom of the screen, you have Ines and Ramiro, okay, shooting from the rooftops. Alright, so they fire again. Alright. So they fire again, and a couple of the Nevens go down. Alright. This guy dies. This guy dies. Alright. This guy... That guy's still alive. Alright, so 2 of the Nevens go down. And then Ramiro, your buddy Ramiro with the teleporting vest, he teleports. He presses the button on the vest. And then he teleports and pops up here, close to the 2 guards. And he says, "You guys, get to cover. This is too much for you. You're obviously not capable of really contributing in this situation." And the 2 guards are like, "Okay!" And then they run out behind the Rangers. Alright. Now you have Olivia that you freed, the orangutan. Alright, so check this out. Olivia the orangutan does a backflip. Okay. And then she does this. Alright, she runs right through the crowd of nobles. She runs right through the crowds of nobles and sends them scattered all over the place. Knocks a bunch of people over.
What's that? Yeah, we're playing a game with an orangutan named Olivia. Yeah, Olivia the orangutan. That's another character. Yeah, Olivia's the orangutan.
Yeah, so Olivia has knocked a whole bunch of people over. All right, she's made a complete mess of the situation. All right, so Olivia is down here on the bottom right now, doing backflips and going like, whoo, 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 whoo. All right.
Backflipping orangutan.
But she's kind of cleared a path, actually, which is nice.
Okay, I'm gonna just pause for just a second.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
And get the, speaking of orangutans, little primate.
Ah, the baby. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mighty battle. Lots of chaos.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
All
back.
Right. Yes, Lester LeFoe, it's up to you.
Oh, it's my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
There's one guy in front of you that took an arrow to the knee. He's pretty bloody. You don't know what Eder is.
Can I use that? Can I use that? What is it called? What's it called?
Insightful fighting.
No, it's the other one that detects the invisibility.
Oh yeah, eye for detail. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me a d20.
D20.
17. Very good. All right. Through your powers of perception, you see that Eder is right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am going to aim another smokescreen bolt at him.
Sure you don't want to use the fire one and blow up the whole area?
We did that once in another campaign.
Yeah, that's true. We did that once in another campaign. Okay, you want to use the smoke screen?
I mean, we could use the nobles as a meat shield, but
that's true.
Did that too.
Yeah, he did
another
that too.
campaign.
Yeah.
So we'll just use the smoke screen because there's still the king and everything. I probably shouldn't kill him.
There's still the king. Very good. All right, so roll me a d20 to make sure it hits.
Let's see if we can.
7. Let's see what's your bonus.
Ooh, I don't know.
7. Let's see what's your bonus modifier that you get. 7. You get a 11. You're aiming at Eder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Unfortunately, it does not pierce his armor class rating. The bolt bounces off and collapses to the ground. It didn't activate. Yeah.
No.
Losing your bolts. Losing your marbles. You gonna do anything else?
I can get away though, right?
Yeah, this one guy next to you will get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, whatever. I'm gonna make a break for it.
Yes.
For the path.
All right.
Toward Olivia. Oops.
Oh, very nice. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. You can't actually move that far. You can move up to here. Move up to here.
What?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
You see? Yeah, that's about as far as you can go. Yeah. So
Okay.
you're hiding in the wall of nobles. They're looking at you. They can't move. They're like, oh, their like arms are like in the wrong positions and stuff like that. All right. So as you are running, one of the Nevans gets an attack of opportunity on you, but let's make sure that he got it. All right. He hits you for how much? Only 2 damage. All right. So he slices at you with one of his daggers as you dash away. So you're at 13 HP right now. You remember, you do have some health potions that you picked up in the dormitory, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's the enemy's turn. All right. So they start coming after you.
Okay.
All right. One of them shoots a crossbow at you to see if he can attack you. Let's see. He misses. All right, you sidestep. You do a nice little dance and dodge the bolt. All right. All right, so now it's Etter. All right. It's Etter's turn. Etter comes down to here. All right. And then his attentions are focused on you. Okay, he seems to have temporarily forgotten about the king. Because remember, your father was responsible for the downfall of his father. All right. So he casts a spell. All right. His arms shoot outwards, and a flame-like radiance comes out from them. All right. You need to roll me a d20. All right, to see if this completely hits. You are not. 19. Very good. All right, Joshua. Okay, so he basically shot down a flame-like radiance. He used a spell called Sacred Flame. All right. He shot down a flame-like radiance on you and targeted you with a bolt of light. But because you rolled such a high number, it did not hit you. Very good. Smooth moves, and you hear Etter curse under his breath once more. All right. Lester LeFoe with the dexterous feat. All right, now it's Claudia's turn. Claudia Copperhoof. Do you have any particular objective you want Claudia to do? I'm assuming you're just shouting out orders during this whole chaotic battle.
Yeah, still trying to get the king.
All right, so here we go.
Safety.
All right, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She can make it down to here with Salvador, who's getting pulled along, and Olivia the orangutan going nuts. All right, that's basically all Claudia can do. Time for the allies to join in the fight. All right, so what are these Schmendricks going to do? All right, so there's one guard that's cowering by the lions. These other 2 guards are hiding behind the Imperial Rangers. The Imperial Rangers let off another volley of shots. All right, very good. The Imperial Rangers let out a volley of shots. They hit these 2 Nevans that are pursuing you. Okay?
Okay.
Do they do damage against Etter? Let's see. They do... They do a little bit of damage against Etter, but not that much. All right. Other allies. So now you have Ramiro. Remember Ramiro, the guy with the vest, the teleportation vest? All right, so let's see. He teleports into the fray as well. He blinks it out of existence and jumps into the fray. He appears to be immune against the poison as well, all right? So he's good. He's helping out. All right, and both him and Ines also shoot off their crossbows as well. All right, they do some damage. All right, so both of these Nevans that have been pursuing you go down. Okay. Thanks to the assistance of the Sleight of Hand Society. All right, and they miss Etter, unfortunately. All right. So now it's Olivia the orangutan. What will Olivia do? All right. So Olivia jumps up on stage and scatters these nobles here. She jumps up on the stage and scatters these nobles, and then she does a backflip and smacks King Darian in the ass. Alright, King Darian actually suffers 12 damage. Josh? You still there? Uh-oh. Joshua? Joshua? Can't hear you. Oh, you still there? I can't hear you. Say something. I lost your sound for some reason. Yeah. You were okay, but then for some reason I just lost your sound. Can't hear you. Maybe you plugged in a headphone or something like that. Internets are being slow. Maybe I'll try rejoining. Actually. Yeah, let's try restarting. I sent you the link again. We'll just try restarting it. Yeah. All right. Always a little bit of technical problems, sadly. Hello, hello, hello. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, we're back.
Okay.
Yes, we're back.
Good.
All right, so Olivia did a backflip and smacked into King Darian. King Darian actually just took 12 damage. And dropped his coffee cup. But he's okay. He's okay. All right, Olivia's unpredictable. All right, back to Lester LeFoe. Your turn.
Okay. Let me use my eye for detail again.
Okay. Well, no, you can see Etter. He's not invisible anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
he's right
okay.
there. He's right there. So you
Right
spotted
there.
him.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I will try. Let me try shooting him again with the smoke screen.
Well, do you want to just shoot him with a regular bolt? You can try using your insightful fighting tactic on him to try to do that extra sneak attack damage.
I can't do that with the smoke screen.
You can, but
I was thinking the smoke screen.
Yeah, you can, but see, you just want to create more smoke around him, because he's already near the smoke with the nobles. Yeah, you can if you want to. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So roll.
That would make it more difficult for him too, right?
Yeah, it would. It would. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll shoot it.
So roll me a d20 to see if your insightful fighting works.
Okay. 15.
Yep, that'll hit. Right? So you'll get your insightful fighting bonus. Roll me another d20. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you get your insightful fighting bonus against Etter, and you shoot him with a smoke screen bolt. All right. So here we go again. There's a lot of smoke on this battlefield. Alright, the nobles are shrouded in smoke as well. Okay,
It's okay, they're not really contributing much.
Yeah, they're not contributing that much as well. Okay, so this area is smoky. Alright. Okay, and so roll me 1d10 plus 2 for the damage that you did with your bolt. Okay, 5 damage, not bad. Alright, you shoot one off at Etter, strategically hiding behind the wall of nobles, and everything shrouded in smoke. Good work. Alright, so time for the enemies. So actually there's really just Etter left. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really just Etter left. Let's see, what will he do? Alright, so he once again uses invisibility and winks out of view. Alright, he seems to be trying to get out of the smoke so he can get a better grip on things. Alright? Because he's not in a very strategic place right now. Okay, so he winks out of view. You're not sure where he is right now. And now it's time for Claudia. So Claudia is going to run towards King Darian. She's been trying to get there this whole time, but having a rough go of it. Okay. She runs towards King Darian in the middle of the smoke and is able to grab hold of the king and pull his fat ass free. Alright. I'm going to say that she pulls King Darian down to here. You see where they are? Alright.
Yeah,
So they're on the very edges of this whole conflagration of madness.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the allies to go, and so the allies can't really do anything. They're searching about for Etter, trying to find him, but he is invisible. Okay. Meanwhile, Olivia the orangutan is going nuts. All right, she is. Okay, she's right there in the middle of the whole fracas. She's knocked away some more nobles. So you remember the guy who said that he likes fucking animals?
Yeah.
She jumped past him and he had an eye on her, and she kicked him in the nostril. This guy right here, right next to her, she kicks him in the nostril. Let me just see how much damage he suffers. 7 damage. She's got a bloody nose. All right, back to Lester LeFoe.
Okay. I'll use my eye for detail to see if I can spot
Yep, go for it.
Etter.
Yeah.
A 10.
10. Yep. You do not spot him. Unfortunately. What will you do?
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to put some.
You think about where he might be. He's obviously trying to get at you, and so he can kind of go down either. Well, he's got some people in his way on one end. He's got people in his way on both ends. You're actually in a pretty strategic place.
Yeah, I'm not actually. I don't think I'm going to move. Actually.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay.
Just gonna stay there.
Because if I go towards the king, then that endangers the king, even though he's a putz. I mean, a safer place would be I could go towards the rangers, but then there's a lot of open space there. I'm gonna stay where I'm.
So what you could do is you could actually gulp down a healing potion if you want.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'll do that. I think I have one
I
left.
think you found. Remember, you found a bunch in the Neven dormitory.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You found like 3. So you're gonna drink 1?
Yeah. Hold on. I haven't really been keeping track of my.
Yeah. So if you look in the treasure, you say it says potions. You have at least 3 healing ones.
Okay.
So change that to 2.
Oh, and let's see. Oh boy, I don't know how many bolts I have. I think I probably have about 6 or 7.
It's okay. We can
fire.
figure that out in the aftermath of the battle. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
All right. So, so you gulp down 1 healing potion, okay? So I want you to roll me 2d4 plus 2.
Wait, hold on a second here. What was it? 1d. What was it?
2d4 plus
D4.
2. 2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2. Alright.
6! You recover 6 HP. You're back to 19 hit points, which is pretty good. You were at 20 before.
Oh, it's good because I didn't remember to change it, so it's
Yeah,
19
well,
before.
I've been changing it. So I think
okay.
if I click on you, you should see a red bubble pop up. It says 19 there right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're at 19. Okay, anything else you want to...
Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah, that's what 19. See? Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Now you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so you're at 19
Oh,
HP.
so good.
If you look at... I don't know if you can see Claudia's. She's at 13 as well. You might not be able to see hers.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, so just pay attention to yours. You're at 19.
Okay.
And remember, you've been dressed as a whole lady and as an old lady this whole time. So not Leslie's just been jumping around and whatever. But it appears that Ether saw through your disguise. Yeah.
Everybody else seemed to, so whatever.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
actually no, you fooled Salvador. He still thinks you're a crazy old lady. And
okay.
the king saw through it. The king saw through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the nobles are not smart enough to really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think now, because Eder shouted out your name, it's kind of obvious, you know, what's
Yeah.
happening. All right, so that's about all you can do. So now time for the enemies to do their thing. All right.
Just Eder, right? He's
Yeah,
the
it's
only
pretty
one.
much just Eder, unfortunately. Okay. All right. So roll me a d20 again. Doing a saving throw. Okay. You rolled a 14. You rolled a 14. Let me see. All right. All right. So you take damage. Okay. Eder once again casts this spell, this sacred flame spell. All right, and you are going to take some damage. You take radiant damage. So basically a burst of light hits you. You suffer 4 damage. Okay, it kind of shocks you and bolts you. Eder has cast a spell, and because he cast a spell, he's no longer invisible. His location has been revealed. Yeah, he's only invisible until he does a movement. All right.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So now you've taken, I think, 4 points of damage. Let's mark that down. 15. All right. And then you hear Eder shout out, "Damn you, Lester LeFoe!" And that's all he can really do. So time for Claudia. All right. So now that the king is in relative safety, Claudia's going to try to come around the other side to help you. Okay. And once again, she's dragging Salvador around like a mule, like a pack mule. Okay. Now it's time for the allies, and unfortunately for Eder, he's been exposed. Everybody can see him now. It's not good for him.
Yeah.
All right, Eder gets hit with a flurry of arrows from the Imperial Rangers. All right. And he suffers a huge amount of damage. All right. He falls down on one knee, bloodied, because they've shattered him with arrows. All right. Ramiro and Inez also shoot at him as well, but they miss. Ramiro here, he blinks out of existence and teleports close to you. Like right here on the side, kind of flanking Eder as well. Interestingly enough, you have Joan and Alice here. And Joan and Alice, they have like a tiny, they both have fans that have like tiny daggers concealed in them. And they try to slash him. They're like, "Take that!" with their fans. They try to help out a little bit. They miss miserably. Because they're not trained fighters. They spin around and miss miserably. Meanwhile, Olivia the orangutan, however, has a bone to pick. Not with Eder, but with the guy that likes fucking animals. She does a scissor kick. The guy takes 20 damage. The guy's been knocked prone, knocked on his ass. She's standing on top of him and jumping on top of him, screaming out, "Whoa!" And then she starts beating her chest like King Kong style. He's getting what he deserves. Alright, back to Lester LeFoe.
Alright.
So
I'm just going to use a
Edder's
regular...
looking battered. Yep.
What's that? I'm just going to use a
looking
regular...
bruised. Okay, very good.
Regular bolt at this time.
You want to try to use your insightful fighting on him?
Yeah.
I think you got it
Yeah,
last
that's a
time.
good idea.
Yeah, you got it last time, I believe.
I don't have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do it. I did get it last time. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got it last time. So now you're just going to
Alright.
roll to see if your attack hits. 17. Very good, Joshua. So roll your 1d10 plus 2. Five damage, and
5.
because of your insightful fighting, you get to do an extra 2d6 of damage.
Okay.
All right, so in total you do 15 damage. So Lester LeFoe, do you want to say something? Do you want to make a daddy reference right now? Would be good.
Quien es tu padre?
Lester LeFoe screams out, "Quien es tu padre?" and shoots a bolt. It hits Etter right in the forehead. And he falls to the ground, unconscious, and actually bleeding out. And the battle comes to a much-needed end. Alright? So, a truly chaotic battle just ensued, and in the aftermath, finally the smoke, all the smoke that you shot from your bolts, clears away. All of the smoke that leaked out of the statue, the King Darian Buddha statue, finally finally goes away as well, and people are getting back their ability to move. Okay, you see the nobles, like, they're looking all flustered, they're like rolling around on the ground, still paralyzed. And King Darian, he can move his upper body but not his lower body. And so Small Dog has brought him along to the front here. And so King Darian's speech is also slurred. And so he's like, "Lester, my boy, you saved my life. Even though I wouldn't have died anyways, because I'm immortal. But you saved my life." And then something smells bad. King Darian shit his pants. In the chaos. But he can't move his lower body, so it's all just kind of slid out from his robes. Small Dog is like, "Somebody take the king back to the hospital and get him a medic." And so the guards help carry King Darian back towards the hospital, or sorry, back towards the castle. Meanwhile, the Imperial Rangers, they've stabilized Etter. He's not bleeding out anymore. All right. And in the middle of the chaos, Claudia came back around. He presented them with Salvador, or she presented them with Salvador. And Etter is looking at Salvador with anger in his eyes, being like, "Damn it, Salvador! You squealed to them, didn't you? You'll die for this." And Salvador shakes his head and looks down at the ground glumly. Okay. Do you want to tell the cops kind of what's been going on?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, why don't I just... I'll just fill Small Dong in about what happened.
Yeah.
But also say that if it weren't for Salvador telling us and cooperating, the king would probably be dead. So whatever sentence he needed, he would probably should be lessened because he did cooperate.
Small Dong wipes his brow. He's looking very distraught. He's like, God, even sleeper cell agents in my police force. Jesus Christ. It's a goddamn mess around here. Look at what I have to work with. So Claudia comes up to you and stands next to you proudly and is like, you know, Captain Small Dong, for a moment I thought you might be a sleeper cell Nevan agent as well. But it seems like you're just an asshole. A good old regular asshole. Small Dog is like, God damn it. Here, bring these idiots to the castle dungeon. I need a drink and a donut. And so the Imperial Rangers start pulling Salvador and Etter away. Claudia's like, by the way, there's a whole bunch more than up in Lady Malusa's place. You might want to have a talking to with her. Lady Malus is still lying paralyzed, half paralyzed, on the ground. And she says, Claudia says, I don't know if Lady Malus really had much to do with this, but she was banging this man Etter right here, so, you know, violation of the hired help rule. Who knows what that'll do to her status in conservative old Tartec society, huh? So Joan and Alice are, and as well as Mother Methody Ann, are like congratulating Claudia. They're like, "You were so cool, Claudia." And Claudia's like, "I wasn't I? You know, I like ran around and pulled the king's fat dingus out of the frying pan, and Lester was shooting boats and asking people if he was their daddy and whatnot." Mother Methody Ann is looking at you and be like, Lester, that's quite an outfit. I didn't know you got down like that. And Joan and Alice are also looking at you, and Claudia's like, we've had quite an adventure. We made some interesting friends. Ramiro and Ines are here as well, and they're looking at the scene and nodding at you and saying that it appears their presence here is no longer needed. Ramiro says, hey, Lester, if you ever need us, you know where to find us. And then he blinks out of existence using the teleporting thing.
Thanks for your help.
Ines is like, now I need to walk back. So she goes off. So meanwhile, Etter is being dragged away, and so he looks at you with hatred and vengeance in his eyes and says, this isn't over, LeFoe. There are Nevans still in Tartec, and there are plenty more where we came from. You think I'm the worst of what Neva has to offer? You think I'm the final vengeance of Sebastian Constantine? The Constantine family name will rise again, and you will pay for the crimes that your father inflicted upon my father. Tartec will pay for the crimes that was inflicted upon my father. You'll die. I'll get out, and I'll find you. You understand?
Can I just shoot him now?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, why not?
Roll to see if it attacks. A 4! Okay.
It's like, oh, whoops.
You try to be really cool, and you're like, alright, I've had enough. I've had enough of this, and you like hold the crossbow up to him, but accidentally you aim, you shoot down at the ground. Your crossbow bolt does not hit Etter, okay? It bounces off the ground and hits the animal fucker instead. Roll me 1d10 plus 2 damage. Roll me 1d10 plus 2 damage. 7 damage against the animal fucker. Alright. Olivia is still going crazy, by the way. Still going crazy. Hold on. Olivia does a back brain kick. She does a back brain kick. The guy suffers 20 damage. He's unconscious. He's not dead, but he's unconscious. Possibly about to bleed out. Olivia's like, woo, woo, woo. Because She now seems satisfied. Finally, Evelyn kind of comes to from the paralysis, and these guys are coming to as well. And Evelyn's like, "Oh my God, Olivia, you poor thing! You've suffered so much! Here, we'll bring you back to the cage. Here, come here, we'll give you lots of bananas." They completely ignore the animal fucker. He's just there, like about to die.
Well, we should probably do something about that.
He's okay, he's just unconscious. If you want to, you could tell Esmeralda about his bad habits.
Yeah. I'd rather try to shoot at her again, or kick him in the head or something.
All right, try to kick him in the head. Just give me one last dexterity check to see if you kick him in the head.
Or well, he's being like dragged off, right?
He's being dragged off, yeah.
Feet, hands, like his feet are dragging on the ground.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to just kick him in the taint.
Yeah, kick him in the taint. Just give me a d20 roll to make sure it hits. All right, you roll a 7. Not quite. You slip and fall on your ass.
My foot's.
You're like, oh!
Goddamn dress. Dress got in the way.
Eder screams as he's being dragged away. "You're an idiot, LeFoe! I will kill you one day! An idiot!" And Claudia's like, "All in a day's work, right, Lester? Man, Leslie." Alright, so...
Hey, Eder.
Yeah?
Eder. I know this shit alone! He's a real man. He'll find you and skull fuck your brains.
So, in the aftermath of all this chaos, finally, once things are a bit more settled, you go back to the castle. You're in the throne room. Okay? Just answer me. Are you still in disguise or not? Are you just still wearing your cross-dressing disguise or not?
No.
Okay, you finally taken it off.
Yeah.
Alright, so in the aftermath, here you are in the king's chambers. And so King Darian, he can move, he can finally move now, but his left leg is dragging on the floor limply. And so he's saying, "Well, my God, that was quite a start to Immortality Day. I shat my pants. You didn't see that, right? Nothing I did back in Lura's square leaves this room, even though it was actually done outside this room. But do you understand, my boy?"
Yeah, I understand your liege.
So, I've been informed of, given a rundown of everything that went on. It's been quite insane. These Nevans, they're just... My God. We'll ban them all. We'll build a wall. I will have stern words with the Sultana of Neva next time I speak with her. We'll sanctions against them. We'll put tariffs. I'm gonna tax the Jesus out of them.
Oh, Your Highness, I think that's probably gonna make things just only worse.
Oh, you think so? King Darian's pacing back and forth.
So actually, what we learned from Salvador was actually quite insightful. What he actually said was that the reason that they were targeting you was because that they felt so oppressed in this city. And so perhaps if you fire back like that, and all it's going to do is create, if not an outright war, and at least a trade war, and that everybody's going to suffer. So maybe what might be helpful, if you do want to, if my opinion counts for anything, is you may actually want to find ways of actually assisting the Nevan population, building goodwill among the people. There's always going to be rebels, and I have my father had. I have my father to thank for these problems, but we'll deal with those. But I think there's enough other people that are not connected to this, other Nevans in the city, that probably would think a little bit more kindly towards you and your regime if you tried to help them.
William the Wizard comes up to you and says, "That's quite a speech, Lester, my boy." And he nods at King Darian and says, "The boy speaks the truth. It would heed well to listen to his words." And then Esmeralda also says, Although we should probably try to do something about any followers of Sebastian Godstantine, especially because he's apparently still alive.
He's still alive, although he's not. You don't know how functional he is, but he's still alive, and there's plenty of people that hold him up on a pedestal.
Claudia says he's
And
still
if
alive.
anything, he's now a martyr.
He's still alive, and to be honest, on a regular basis, he's shitting himself like you, King Darian. Small dog is over here munching a donut, shaking his head at the whole situation. So King Darian paces back and forth. Yeah, go ahead.
If anything, this might be something that Smaldong and the Imperial Rangers could help with, but definitely security in this castle probably could do with a facelift.
Oh God, says Small Dog. I don't want to go to Neva. I don't like the air there. I'll handle the security of the castle. Esmeralda says, well, I can have more ranger units patrol the borders between Neva and Tartec. We already have a few camps in their capital, but we might have to increase the check-ins we have with their local police force in order to make sure that everything's running smoothly. We can make it work out in due time. King Darian says, all right, well, you lot handle it, and well, I'll sleep on whether or not I need to tax the living hell out of them. You know, he puts an arm around you. He's like, listen, my boy Lester, it's been quite a rough couple days leading up to Immortality Day. I nearly lost my life, and I nearly lost my life again. There's a lot of smoke in the air. It's bad for my skin. It's bad for my immortal skin. And perhaps you have a point. Perhaps you have a point, and I shall think on it. I shall think on it, and for now, I would like to thank you for everything you've done. You solved the mystery of the would-be assassins of King Darian IV, and that deserves some praise.
Thank you.
So he leans back against the steps and says, you have earned this reward. And so he delivers to you a chest of gold. 2,000 gold!
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of gold. So you gonna divide it up, or are you gonna pocket it all?
Yeah, we'll divide it up.
I guess you take $1,000 and Claudia takes $1,000?
I'm going to give. I'm going to divide it up into. It's 2,000, right?
Yes.
So. Yeah, I'm going to divide it up into four.
Oh, okay.
Four quadrants.
Okay.
Some for Claudia.
Yeah.
And then I'll keep some for the detective agency.
Okay, so you're gonna.
And then there's two others. And then there's two others that I'm going to be, and one of which is going to go to the Sleight of Hand Society.
Oh, very nice.
That saved our bacon at least twice, and then the fourth is going to go. I'm going to give it to. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to keep it as set up a fund, and maybe the Sleight of Hand Society could help with this, to help with the help like Nevan children on the street or something like that.
All right, so okay, so
it's like a charitable kind of thing.
That's awesome. So for you, add 500 gold to your inventory. Okay, that's the stuff you keep for yourself.
Yeah.
You got 500 gold for yourself, and Claudia will get 500 as well, right? Okay. So Claudia has 835 gold right now. I'm not sure how much you have.
1,221.
Oh, damn, you got a lot of money. All right,
Yeah,
so
no.
so there's 2 remaining installments of 500.
Yeah.
All right. So William.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry, you okay?
I'll put those in the. I guess I'll put that in the treasure.
Yeah, put that in the treasure. In the treasure section. So you can give the money to the Sleight of Hand Society when you see them again. You can also start work on maybe setting up some kind of institution on your own, or maybe even ask William or Esmeralda for help.
Yeah. This advantage Neva.
Yeah, very nice. That's super kind of you, Lester, says Claudia. You're a good man.
Yeah.
All right, and then King Darian comes up to you and says, and I have an additional gift. I would like to present you with these special pins in order to show that you are heroes of the realm. And so he nods towards William, and William produces a small box with 2 little pins inside. And he pins them onto the lapel of your jacket and onto the side of Claudia's turban. Here's what they look like. King Darian presented us with these pins upon solving the case of his would-be assassins and saving his life. He says that they're an artistic representation of the magical elixir that grants him immortality, and that while they can't grant eternal life, wearing them is the next best thing. Engraved on the back of the pin is a message. The wearer of this pin is an esteemed hero of the kingdom of Tartec and a personal friend of our Lord King Darian IV. May he live forever.
Huh.
Pretty nice, eh?
Yeah. There we go.
Now there's just a few more things that you unlocked that I forgot to show you before. There was this one as well, this journal entry. Yes, remember this guy?
Salvador.
Yeah, Salvador is the half-brother of Etter Constantine, and while the 2 men might share the same father, they seem to have little else in common. While Etter is cool, calculating, and confident, Salvador is loud, impulsive, and suffers from an inferiority complex. While Etter believes that the Nevans should make use of magic to pummel their enemies, Salvador shuns magic, seeing it as innately dangerous, even more so since it led to his father's downfall. Salvador and Etter are constantly butting heads and fighting, and their relationship deteriorated after Salvador mishandled a shipment of Slug's Kiss, leaving the Nevans without enough of the poison to carry out their plan. Salvador tried to make up for this by extracting more of the poison from one of Evelyn's great slugs, but Olivia the orangutan got in his way, and he used a blowgun dart on her to cause a distraction. As Olivia went on a rampage through the city, the impulsive Salvador decided that he'd use the poison for his own purposes and carry out King Darian's assassination by himself. If he succeeded, he'd come out ahead of Etter, and all the Nevans would worship him. He failed thanks to the unexpected presence of Hemingway the Gigolo. And then finally you unlocked the nemesis, Ator. The man behind the plot to assassinate King Darian and throw Tartec into chaos. Etter Constantine is not only smart and ruthless, but also the son of Sebastian Constantine. Etter found his father's bruised and broken body along the shores of the Blue River after Sebastian Constantine's climactic encounter with my father. He brought Sebastian to Neva and tried to nurse the old man back to health. Thanks to the care he received, Sebastian Constantine did eventually recover from the Shadow in the Moonlight spell, but the injuries he sustained when toppling into the Blue River had severely disabled him physically. Angered by how far his father had fallen, Etter came up with a plot to enact revenge against all of Tartec and throw the nation into chaos, setting the stage for Neva's sleeper cells of assassins and other radicals to take over. Etter is a very dangerous man with an understanding of magic, including the invisibility spell that ruined his own father. But, says Claudia, it appears that you are his daddy, Lester. Joshua, you there? Did I lose you again? Uh-oh. Might have lost you. Alright, let's just try rejoining again. Let's just try rejoining. One more time. Seems you got kicked. internet's not cooperating. Almost done, though. Almost done. Hello? Joshua? You there? Hello? Can't hear you. Oh no, technical issues in the conclusion. Oh, you lost my audio. Ah. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. So maybe we'll both restart, okay? Okay, let's both restart. All right. I'm exiting now. And let's try the link again, and it will hopefully restart. Hello? ¿Cómo estás? No audio? Yes, can you hear me? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Alright. Let me just readjust my internet super fast. If I readjust my internet, it should work potentially. All right. Switching my internet connection and launching. Hopefully this will work. Hello? Hello, hello? Hello, hello, hello? Hello?
Hey.
I can hear you. All right, we're back.
Okay.
All right, we're almost done.
Goddamn, there it is.
Yeah, we're almost done. All right. All right, so you got your little coffee pins from the king, and you unlock the facts about the Nevans, okay? And so now you guys finally get to take a bit of a rest, all right? And so it's Immortality Day, and you guys really haven't gotten much sleep in the last couple hours, all right? So you hit the hay for a little bit, and then the next morning, actually, you're invited to the city graveyard in order to attend the funeral of Hemingway the Gigolo.
Ah.
take a quick trip to the city graveyard. You see?
Yeah.
Yep, so Mother Metheny Ann and Joan and Alice invited you to attend the funeral of Hemingway the Gigolo because his, body has been embalmed and they're ready to bury it. And so it's a sad proceeding and much tears are shed, and Joan and Alice were like, "Oh, Hemingway, such a great gigolo he was." And you see this guy here?
Yeah.
This good-looking bearded guy. So he comes up to you and says, "Oh, hello, your name is Lester LeFoe, right?"
That is, yeah.
And he says, "So, I feel kind of bad because I'm kind of taking over this guy's job, but my name's Fitzgerald. I'm the new star gigolo in town." And Mother Metheny Ann says, "Ah, yes, Fitzgerald managed to survive the very rigorous application process. He's truly going to bring us a lot of money in the upcoming days, weeks, months, and years." And so Claudia looks him over and says, "Good God, another one. Well, maybe King Darian will get in contact with you shortly." And so Fitzgerald sighs and says, "Oh, the king, yeah, he's been... I caught a glimpse of him, actually, during that whole ruckus back in the square, and... strange man. He shat his pants."
You may... No one would blame you if you politely declined.
"I'll think about it, Lester. Meanwhile, I guess I'll be seeing you around."
And Fitzgerald, if you do decide to take the king up on any offers, you may want to get a bodyguard or something, or go armed. The last guy didn't work out so well for him.
"Better go armed," Claudia says. "The king, he's a power bottom too, so do your thing."
Wear protection. How about that? Now maybe that would also be wise.
By the way, Ramiro is standing here.
Yeah.
You want to chat with him very briefly?
Yeah. Ramiro, fancy finding you here.
Ramiro says, "Hey guys." He blinks out of existence, and then he actually pops back up here behind you, and is like, "Pretty cool, huh? I like this vest. Thanks for letting me have it."
Glad you got it working.
Got it working, and guess what? I'm gonna be the new town gravedigger. They needed somebody, and I happened to accept the offer, and tell you what, Sleight of Hand Society is going to make use of some of these tunnels. We're not going to disturb the graves, don't worry, but we can always use a few safe houses in the graveyard and pop up here and there, and we'll make sure that your parents' grave doesn't get desecrated again by any idiots who want to steal your dad's coat.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So actually, I don't know if you remember, but you had one item that you never used, a thing called McGregor's Key.
Oh.
Yeah, remember? You took a little thing from McGregor? And that's interesting. Claudia is like, Claudia's looking around here, and on the side of the crypt in the dirt, there's actually something. Remember these?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the side of the dirt, there's actually one of these little signs. It's the safe stash sign. Yeah, so Claudia, just out of her interest, she digs about behind this bush and actually finds a hidden panel in the ground, like right here. Okay? She opens it, and inside you find McGregor's safe stash. Yeah. A nice little safe stash of 800 gold. Claudia's like, "Well, he's not going to be using this wherever he is. I guess he's in a cell, maybe next to Eto and Salvador. Maybe the three of them can rub their ding-dongs together." And she just grabs the gold and is carrying it away.
Sounds good.
Uh,
There's keepers. Speaking of gold, does Ramiro still have his stash of goods?
He does, but not with him right now, because
No.
only 2 days has passed, really, throughout this whole
Oh,
thing.
okay. He didn't
so,
have time
yeah,
to resupply.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him about the money you're setting aside for the society?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah. So, oh, Ramiro, we got a little finder's fee for the a reward, I guess, from the king. For I set a portion of it aside for the Sleight of Hand Society. Who should I best give that to? How should I make sure that they get that?
Well, Ramiro says, you can give it to me and I'll make sure Parthenia gets it. She was a bit worried about you after everything that happened, but, and specifically requested that myself and Ines go and give you an aid in the square when things started to get hairy, but she'll be happy to get this. This is more than she ever got from your old man for the last, 40 years?
Yeah, I do a lot of cleaning up after my old man. Yeah, I mean, you guys saved our bacon at least twice.
Tell you what I'll do, Lester. If you
so-
give me that cash, I'll make sure Parthenia gets it, and then she'll get back in touch with you. And the next time you see us, we'll probably be in a new headquarters because we switch every month. But we'll let you know, and then I'll have some more cool stuff available for you.
Okay, I'll stop back and partake of that. So
Excellent, says Ramiro. So I guess you give him the gold?
yeah, give him the gold.
All right. So you give him the gold, and then you guys leave the graveyard and start heading back towards Willow Avenue. Okay, you start heading back towards Willow Avenue with lots of new gold and with new friends, Joan, Alice, and also Fitzgerald, the gigolo. And actually, while you're back at 1 Willow Avenue, Mother Methany Ann invites all of you over to the boarding house for a little kind of makeshift Immortality Day bash, a celebration, because you guys really didn't get to have one. Too
Yeah.
busy saving the king's bacon. All right. And so she says, normally men aren't really allowed in the boarding house, but we'll make an exception since it's a special night. And I've cooked up some nice stewed mutton, some fresh greens, a little bit fried chicken. We've got lots and lots of ale, and we can have ourselves a nice moment of peace, which I think we all deserve after everything that we've been through. Me losing money over Hemingway, you traipsing through the sewers. We could all use a break.
Yes,
And
much
so,
appreciated.
actually, as you're doing that, oh, look who pops up.
Ah, yeah.
It's Evelyn and Orangutan. Evelyn and Olivia the orangutan. So she's actually leading Olivia around by the hand. Olivia is sedate and calm and eating a banana with the other hand and being like, ooh, 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 ooh. And so Evelyn is like, just wanted to stop by and say thank you one last time for solving the case when Olivia went missing. We're going to be heading out of Tartec soon now that Immortality Day is over. But we'll see you again, and I hope our menagerie will cross paths one more time.
Well, hopefully no ill effects from that slug's kiss gas.
None that I can see. I've been all right. And as for Olivia, she's as good as she's ever been. After she got done back brain kicking that strange nobleman, I'm afraid he hasn't been seen since. We're not exactly sure if he's alive or dead, but based on what I've heard, I don't think anybody will be really missing him.
Yeah.
So, so Olivia the orangutan actually goes up to you. She's like, ooh, ooh, and she gives you a hug.
Oh.
And she gives Claudia a hug as well. And Mother Methany Ann is like, before you go, would you like to join us for one last dinner, one last party? I mean, don't know if Olivia the orangutan drinks ale, but we can give it a shot if you want.
Might make for some interesting times.
So you all go back into the boarding house and you enjoy a most excellent dinner filled with scrumptious food, lots of drink. Olivia the orangutan gets a little drunk, starts doing backflips on the table, Lester LeFoe also drinks more of the intoxicant than he's used to. Lester LeFoe leans back on a chair. Joan and Alice try to give Lester LeFoe a lap dance. Olivia gets mad and jealous, and she hits Lester with the staff of vines and screams out, "Evrash!" And then vines entrap Lester LeFoe. And generally, it's a nice, chaotic night with good people.
Yeah.
So finally,
Very nice.
Finally, when it's all over, after you've been freed from the vines, you are back in the LeFoe Detective Agency. The party's come to an end. Evelyn and Olivia have left. Fitzgerald, Joan, and Alice, they've gone off their separate ways, and Claudia's retired to the boarding house after apologizing for entrapping you with vines one last time. So you are sitting in the chair at the LeFoe Detective Agency, just going like, "Oh," because you drank so much. Just like, "Oh my God, the head." All right, and so you pass into slumber. Okay. Now, as you're sleeping, you level up because you gained a crapload of experience. Let me just see how much experience you gain. Let me just open up your character sheet and we'll input it together. Alright, so I need to... So here's what you got. So this is all the experience you got from the previous night. You gained 450 experience for defeating McGregor, remember?
Oh, yeah.
You gained 100 experience for massacring Beppo. You gained 1,000 experience for completing the spell of Forgotten Memories and figuring out your father's connection with Sebastian Constantine. Okay. You got another 450 for beating Salvador. Another 450 for beating Ettore. And then finally 2,000 experience points for solving the case of the almost assassination. Alright, so in total you got 4,450. So currently on your experience point sheet you have 2,000. So 400, that plus 4450 equals, you're at 6450 experience points. Okay?
Oh.
So now let me just see. You leveled up. You leveled up for sure. You're at level 4 now. Okay. I just changed that value for you. You're at level 4 right now. In order to reach level 5, let me see, how much experience do you need? Alright, in order to reach level 5, Joshua, you need 6,500 experience points. So you're almost there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're almost there. You'll reach level 5 probably next time. You're very close. You gained a lot. So you're at, you're at level 4 right now, and Claudia is also at level 4. Claudia leveled up with you, and so I'll distribute those points to her afterwards.
And it's 20, right? Is that the highest, or is it 10?
20 is the highest.
20 is the highest.
Yeah. Now, when you level up, your HP improves. Okay. So your current hit points are 20. I'm just changing that for you. Your current hit points are 20. Now, when you level up, you're going to get... Okay, you get 1d8 plus your Constitution modifier. Alright, so unfortunately you have a Constitution modifier of 0. You see that 0 there? So you either can roll 1d8 to see how many additional HP you get, or you can just take 5. Would you rather take 5 extra HP or roll 1d8? It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll take 5. That's fine.
That's a bit safer. Okay, so you're at 25 HP. There you go. That's your max now. All right. And now,
okay.
Yeah, and now you also get to make another choice. So if you look at your character sheet, so now at 4th level, if you look at these values on the side, strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, you can choose to increase 1 by 2 or 2 by 1.
Okay.
So most of your skills require dexterity, but if you want to, you might want to put in Constitution as well. Okay.
What was Constitution again? That's like your ability to like
survive hits, like
survive.
take damage and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, while you
Yeah.
decide, I'm going to quickly pee.
Sounds good.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
All right.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay.
What did you decide to do?
So I'm gonna do the 2-for-1 thing.
Okay.
And
Which values do you want to increase by a little bit?
it's so Constitution and for a 1, and then I think Charisma would be a good one too. Either Charisma or a Dexterity.
I'd
know.
go for Constitution and Dexterity, because the Dexterity, this +2, so that's a +2 modifier, and all of your weapon attacks, they take that modifier into account. And when you roll a d20 to see if it hits, it always gets that modifier gets added to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would bump up your Dexterity to 3 probably, and maybe your Constitution to 1.
Yeah. Let's see. How do I change this? Did I change this component? Maybe I can't.
I think
Oh, maybe.
maybe I'm able to. Oh, so yeah. Okay, so sorry. Let's see.
That's not a thing. I'll change it.
Oh, here. I think it's. Oops. Oh, I think. Sorry. Yeah. My mistake. I think what it means is your the number. See the number below the 2 goes up. You see, like under Dexterity, there's a 2. I think that 14 goes up. I think that's what goes up.
Oh.
Yeah, you should be able to edit that.
So 14 to 15.
Yeah,
and
15.
Then Constitution.
And then Constitution to 14. Yeah.
Wait, I had a 12 there. Instead of 13.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Constitution should be 13. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so your stats improved a little bit. You're still very dexterous, you're still very quick. You're a bit stronger now in Constitution, you're a bit above average. Alright? And I'll determine Olivia's stats afterwards. And we'll take a look at those. Well, actually, maybe I'll just do it now. Sorry, not Olivia, Claudia. I'll do it now quickly. Claudia, she's also at 6450 experience points out of 6,500. Okay, so she's also level 4. Let's see, I'll give her extra HP. 5, 6. She gets 6 extra hit points. She has 19 total hit points now, which is good.
Yeah.
Alright, and she is going to, let's see, she's going to bump up her dexterity to 18, and she'll bump up her charisma to 18 as well. Alright? So, she continues to be very charismatic and fast, and now she has some extra HP to go along with it. Lester LeFoe's character sheet, I'm noticing, get a lot of 1s and stuff, like 1 strength modifier, 2 dexterity modifier. Alright. Okay, now, so as you're sitting in your chair and kind of drifting off to sleep, you have a dream. And take a guess at who you see in your dream.
Pops.
Not just Pops, but also the Madre. Yes, you have a dream of your parents, and they're standing over you. And your mother, Jasmine LeFoe, is looking at you very proudly and says, "That's our boy, Mortimer. Such a good job he did." Mortimer's looking at you and says, "Oh, passed out like a drunk at the desk. Not very professional."
Well, fuck you, Daddy!
Wait, so I need to... you need to make a strength roll to see if you can actually will yourself to speak in the dream. To your father.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Let's just see if you can will yourself to speak.
Is it a D20?
Yeah, just D20. And 8. Okay, you don't quite make it. So you just roll a D20 to see if you can speak to your mother.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can speak to your mom. What do you want to say to your mom?
Mom, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for, I wish we had more time together.
I wish that too,
I feel like I'm spending a lot of time in cleaning up after the messes of my father. But since I know you love him, I won't tell him to F off. But I'm thinking that.
Well, now, Lester, you know your father. He's always had a tough time expressing his emotions, but he loves you, and I love you, and you've made us proud. You really did. And yes, you have cleaned up your father's messes. And quite a lot he's left for you. But you are the LeFoe Detective Agency now, and you're doing a good job. Mortimer says, "Yes, well, it's, Listen, boy, I know I haven't always been the best father, perhaps the most supportive father, but I acknowledge what you're doing, and I think the way you solved the case was admirable. You wasted a bit of time doing a lot of mucking around in the sewers and, talking to beggars and shooting animal rapists when you could have been shooting the enemy, but it's not a bad job, all things considered." He lays a hand on your shoulder and says, "Decent work, son. Lester, decent work. How do you feel?"
Me personally, or Lester?
Lester, and you personally.
I still think Lester would maybe when he gets to level 5, he can tell his dad to piss off.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So
that's probably as good as Lester's going to get at this point. So it's like,
probably as good as Lester's going to get. Yeah. And so your mother, Jasmine LeFoe, says, "Well, now, Lester, it appears we might be seeing more of each other in these dreams. There's this person called the Dreamweaver, and that apparently after we all die, we come back to life in each other's dreams and can visit our loved ones. There's a very long queue. We need to pick lottery tickets, and so that's why it's taken your father and I quite some time to come here and see you in your dreams, and that's why we're only allowed to stay for a limited period of time. And your father, Mortimer, says, "It's bureaucracy! Bureaucracy everywhere! Even in the netherworld, even in the dream world." He spins the globe. And then looks once again at the purple octopus and says, "Oh, where do we get this?" Picks it up and puts it back down again. Lots of bureaucracy. Lester, never let yourself become a bureaucrat. Remember, a true detective keeps his feet on the ground, his nose in front of his magnifying glass, and he never lets the enemy get the best of him. And I believe that if you follow these values, you too will one day become as good as me. You're on your way there. Keep it up. Jasmine.
Thanks, Pops.
Jasmine
No,
nods.
I can't say anything, but yeah.
Jasmine nods and smiles at you, and then you actually hear the dinging of the 13th hour chimes when the dreamers have to go back to the dream world. The ding, ding, ding sound. And so Jasmine LeFoe says, "All right, Lester, we'll see you again soon, but take care of the LeFoe Detective Agency, and you take care of that Claudia. She's a good one."
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. See you soon.
Your parents slowly begin to materialize out the door of the LeFoe Detective Agency. Your mother waves at you and blows you a kiss, and your father gives you an awkward nod, a manly nod. But perhaps it's your father's way of saying, "Thank you for cleaning up my shit, Lester." All right. So they vanish, and it's morning. Okay? You wake up, and you smell like ass because you just passed out in the chair while drunk. Okay? You're badly in need of a shower. All right? But someone knocks on the door.
Okay.
Yep, and in pops Claudia. And she's like, "Morning, Lester. Oh, God, you passed out in front of the desk. You look terrible. You look like a wreck." She drops you a sandwich for breakfast that Mother Methany Ann made. And she says, "Lester, you really got to take a shower. But you might want to check this out. I wrote up our case details, as I always do."
Oh.
Remember this?
Wow. Oh, good work. Case closed.
The case of the almost assassination. After months of our cases only revolving around finding people's lost keys and locating outraged orangutans, me and Lester finally had ourselves a real majestic adventure. We solved a case of King Darian's would-be assassins. It all started when Darian the Diddler invited us to his castle and told us that a bloke tried to slit his immortal throat while he was busy dangling his dice on a gigolo's forehead. Me and Lester had to run all about the city trying to find leads, and our search took us everywhere from the sewers, where we had a run-in with a bloody crocodile who could teleport, to the uppity hallways of the Maloose Manor in Hightown. Along the way, we made some new friends, nearly got buried alive by the Nutty Town gravedigger, and became newbie members of the Sleight of Hand Society. And finally, we uncovered an international conspiracy where a disgruntled group of Nevans were trying to both murder Darian the Diddler and unleash a poisoned bomb on Immortality Day, all in the name of bringing back the glory of Sebastian Constantine, a nefarious gangster that Lester's old man had battled ages ago. It seems like not only was this one humdinger of a case, but it was also a deeply personal one for dear old Lester, who now knows a wee bit more about his father. The senior LeFoe sure was a proper asshole, but at least now Lester's got a deeper understanding of that asshole, so to speak. Anyhow, in the end we saved the day, bashed some Nevan terrorists upside the head, sent the bad guys to jail, and got a fat reward in the process. Until the next mystery rears its head, case closed.
Oh, good work, Claudia.
Pretty nice, isn't it, Lester? After our drunken party last night, I was hit with a wave of the inspiration. And then I decided to put it all down to paper. It just came to me, you know?
Yeah, shit got real.
So there's another knock on the door. All right?
Yeah.
You gonna let him in?
Yeah.
All right. So a gangly young man enters the LeFoe Detective Agency. He looks a bit nervous, but good-natured. and he says, excuse me, but is this the LeFoe detective agency? And you're Lester and Claudia, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I saw you guys in the square last night and the huge poison bomb, and I was watching from some of the back alleyways, and I saw you shoot lots of bolts and jump around, and it was awesome. It was incredible. You're amazing.
Well, I don't know if that was one of my finer moments, but yeah, we lived, so here we are.
Claudia's giving the kid the once over, and she's like, "And who might you be, young fella?" They're about the same age, really. And so the kid is like, "Oh, my name's Tehran, and I'm actually I'm not from Tartec. So I'm visiting the city. I came to the city 2 days ago, and I've been trying to find a private detective. I have a request. I'm from a village called Aquaria, to the south of Tartec. Have you heard of it?"
Possibly. A certain, hey Claudia, there's, your Nan maybe was from there, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, my
Leslie?
crazy old Nan Leslie.
Yeah.
You know, she was really crazy last night, doing some acrobatics, a little bit of the ammunition loading, giving an old lady a rapid-fire weapon. It's always good entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah, we know a little bit about Aquaria.
So Tehran says, "All right, so Aquaria's in need of a detective. We've got a really strange situation on our hands right now. There's a ghost that's been showing up."
Huh, ghost.
"Everybody
What do you mean by
knows
ghost?"
there's no such thing as ghosts," Claudia says. And so the kid is like, "Well, okay, so she's not like a real, like, physical ghost, but she's kind of like a mental ghost. The thing is, okay, so there was this old lady that used to head up the Aquaria orphanage. Her name was Hortense Brunscombe, and she died a while ago, but the problem is, over the last couple weeks, all of the former Aquarian orphans in the village have been seeing her in their dreams. She's like a dream ghost. She keeps popping up." And so he goes on to tell you more and more about how there's this old lady who used to lead the Aquaria orphanage, and how all the orphans have been suddenly having visions of her in their dreams, and how it's making everybody uncomfortable, and nobody knows why she keeps appearing, and it's got the whole town very, very, very confused. All right? And so he tells you more and more details of the strangeness that's happening outside of Tartec. And it appears that a new case awaits.
Oh. Case of the grandmotherly ghost.
A grandmotherly ghost appearing in the dreams of Aquaria's orphans. Mysterious secrets lurking in the countryside surrounding Tartec. The game is afoot once again, and a new case awaits.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. And
Next case.
for those watching who might not have read the 13th Hour, who is Hortense Brunscombe?
So she was the headmaster of Nudge, and so Aquaria is a little sort of country village that about a day's ride from the capital city where all this adventure took place. And a certain two protagonists, Logan and Aurora, came from that particular orphanage.
Yes, they did.
And they were basically raised by this woman.
And she's been dead for a bit, but now she's appearing in everyone's dreams. What does that mean? Well, we will find out. In the
Next time.
case of the grandmotherly ghost. And now, the very last thing we'll look at is we're just going to look at the evolution solution of Lester and Claudia, so to speak. Here, check this out.
Oh, nice. Lester before and after.
Yeah, Lester got a little bit cooler. If you click on the picture, you can see a bigger view of it. It'll load. So Lester LeFoe at level 3, he just had a short sword, a journal, and not much else. Lester LeFoe at level 4 is a recognized hero of Tartec. Here's a dragon spit crossbow capable of firing flame and smoke bolts.
Huh, did not use that, actually.
You didn't use the flame, but perhaps you'll use it in the countryside to start some forest fires.
Huh.
Alright, and next time we'll take stock of how much stuff you have remaining after the big battle. We'll do that next time. How many bolts you have and whatnot. We'll do a little bit of inventory cleanup. But yeah, Lester LeFoe got a little cooler.
Yeah.
And wait,
he upgraded himself.
Let's look at Claudia.
Look at Claudia.
Claudia Copperhoof got a little bit cooler. So Claudia before, at level 3, just had an unwieldy shepherd staff and a bag of holding, which mostly served as the home for Hubert the lamb. Claudia now has an elvish staff of vines and a cloak of protection. Yes. So, we will see how the characters continue to evolve and grow next time. In the next case, the case of the grandmotherly ghost. So there we are, we finished.
We did it. Oh, 10 sessions.
Yes, 10 sessions. Over 20 hours. And Claudia and Lester solved the case of King Darian's would-be assassin. And you finished your first long Dungeons & Dragons campaign.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for putting that together.
Yeah, no problem. There will be more, obviously, once I make my move and have some time to get ready. But there's more in the future.
Yeah, that was amazingly detailed. There's like a lot went into that.
Yeah. So yeah, how'd you like it? How'd you think? Any thoughts and reflections before we wrap up?
I have a question. Did you when you did this, did you do it all at once? Did you plan the whole story out all at once, or did you kind of go do it based on the results of the last session?
I planned out the very, very basics all at once. Like I knew, so probably later on, I'm gonna write a blog post like detailing how I came up with it. So you can like look forward to that, and you can also post it on your site as well. But I came up with the basics. Like I knew I wanted it to star a detective, and his assistant, and I was influenced a lot by there's 2 game series called Ace Attorney. That's like the lawyer game where you're like a lawyer in court, and he also acts as like a detective in the game as well, and he's like investigating stuff. So I was a little bit inspired by that, and a lot of the soundtracks we use come from a spin-off game in that series. I was also inspired by another game series called the Professor Layton games, which is where you're also like an investigator and you're solving puzzles. And those particular games I'm not very good at because the puzzles are too hard and I don't really have the cabeza to solve them. But I was inspired by like the atmosphere, like kind of exploring a city, doing stuff, finding out clues. And so I plotted out the basic arc of like you're some guy who's trying to maintain his father's detective agency, and over the course of the adventure you'll find out more details about the king's assassin, and that eventually the would-be assassin was also going to be someone who had a father, a famous father. Like the fathers were kind of involved in some. They had a background story basically. So I had that in mind, but a lot of the other details I kind of came up with based on the results of the previous session. Like I didn't know that Lester and Claudia were gonna dress up in disguise and infiltrate the party. I thought that maybe, depending on how it played out, you guys might sneak in there or try to get in there from the sewers or something like that. But then, when you started talking about disguises, that seemed like a lot more fun.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
And I didn't exactly know which weapons or how you guys were going to use, or how you were going to outfit your characters, or exactly which location you would visit first. So there was some general planning, but then also a lot of kind of improv and seeing how things played out bit by bit.
Sure. The very ending where there was like the bomb went off and everything like that. That part, it seems like you must have planned some of that. Like
so I planned some of that, depending on just taking into account how much time we had to play, like how many enemies would be there. If the fight went on longer, I was thinking about having like the other Nevins. Remember those two guards, like Jasper, Bernard, and Carmen, join the fight.
Yeah.
But I decided not to because it got really busy. Like battles in D&D always get really busy when they're huge scale like that, and so.
Sure.
So yeah, just you know, I wanted to keep things relatively controllable. So yeah, there was some planning, but I didn't know that you were gonna situate yourself between the two nobles. That was pretty strategic, actually. Like, have them be a wall, and I didn't know that you were gonna run and free Olivia. Like, I had some actions in mind for Olivia the orangutan, but I was able to improv a lot and have her do a lot more things based on what happened before. Plus, there was the crazy animal dude who deserved to get his.
So it took like how many, if you had to guess, like hours of preparation it took for you to put all that together? Well, we played for what,
20 hours,
over 20
hours. So and according to my Roll20, I have like over 60 hours now, so probably like 40 hours.
40 hours of like coming up with like the the maps, the planning, the character, writing the character sheets and all that.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't need to do this much detail. I enjoy doing this, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fun way to have more adventures in the world that you created in your books. Like, you know, because I think one of the hardest parts about coming up with like your own world and writing your own stories is sometimes you have nobody to share it with.
Right, sure.
It just exists in your head. So now, at the very least, like you get to experience like some more additional adventures which can inspire you for future books. And at the very least, it's kind of like this cool like fan fiction type thing. Like, oh, all this stuff also could have happened in the world
you put in a lot of neat little odes to things that I wouldn't have even thought of, like just like the last guy, like, you know, the ode to the Aquarian orphanage, and then having him come from Aquaria, and then from there I kind of like.
Hey, so you know who this? So
I'll kind of run with it. And
so this is a bit of a spoiler, but you know who this guy actually is?
Who would that be?
So it's kind of a spoiler, but I'll tell you.
Don't tell me.
You don't want me to tell you?
Yeah, don't tell me. We'll figure it out.
Okay, you'll figure it out. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
But he's there's a certain character he might be related to from the 13th Hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And obviously, going to Aquaria now, it's a chance to see how Aquaria might have changed in the time after your book took place.
Yeah. So this was what, about 3 years after? You said, I think initially 3 years after.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's about 3 years after. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And it kind of happened around. It kind of happened that other little mini campaign we did at your place with Wayfarer and Abram, who showed up.
Yeah.
That happened sometime along this.
Yeah.
Sometime around the same time. If you notice,
that was a little bit after. That's right.
Yeah, a little bit after. If you notice, Captain Dingus and Ranger Steno were not around in the finale because.
Oh.
They got.
Oh, this is happening concurrently. Basically.
Kind of concurrently. Yeah, they're not around because they kind of got burnt by a dragon in that little mess. And Abram was also MIA.
That's true. Yeah, because he was off doing his thing.
Because he went off to go meet the Wayfarer and get stuck in prison and hide a blowgun up his prison wallet, so to speak. Have some more adventures, but he might pop up again later.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting, like the parallels to what's going on in the world right now. You happen to find a King Darian picture that's rather Trumpian, Jeremy.
It is. It was not intentional, but it kind of just happened.
I'll have to include it in like the show notes or something like that. The picture is hilarious, and there's the way he kind of talks and just gesticulates and everything like that.
Yeah. So a lot of fun little parallels and a lot of like additional potential details you can use later about your world. Because I think you mentioned in some of your writings about King Darian that he was always having trouble with like barbarians in the south and like other kings and kingdoms.
Yeah.
And we never really got too much detail on them, so I think it's fun to like brainstorm what those places might be and the interior problems of Tartec, so to speak. And as you can see, there are a lot.
Right.
There are a lot.
There's a lot of them. Yeah, it was nice. It was also nice to have like a nice cast of like sort of supporting characters.
Yeah.
Like the boarding house folk and the wizards or show up and the rangers. I mean, it's kind of a fully. You don't get a huge sense about them, but it lends to the kind of overall feel of it. Like it's much larger in scale than the one we did before.
Yeah. I think that's always the most fun about doing these things. Characters get fleshed out, and even side characters become ones that you care a lot about.
Yeah. I don't think anybody major die. No.
No, nobody major.
I think so. Well, except for Hemingway. Hemingway the Gigolo.
Yeah, Hemingway the Gigolo. But now you got Fitzgerald, also named after a famous American author.
Yeah.
Now you got Fitzgerald. King Darian almost died, but he's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he learned something.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. I mean, well, maybe not. There's the reference to his almost death later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one dealt with a lot of the seedier sides of society.
It was, yeah. The stuff that I guess when Logan and Aurora were in Tartec, they didn't really see.
Yeah.
But if you wish to ever utilize those concepts in a future short story or piece of writing, then feel free. It's funny. Lester and Claudia are like detectives, but they got a lot of criminal friends.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of interesting, like the open, I don't know, it's like free form kind of structure, right? So you're free to kind of like improvise and say random things and kind of build the characters in that way. It's not like it doesn't have to be super linear, and I liked how flexible it could be.
Yeah.
For example, like the ending battle, like I was like really debating, like, oh, what should I do? Like do this, that, or the other thing first? I mean, and that's like the decision to go for like free the orangutan.
Yeah, that was good. Like I wasn't
really like that sort of thing. I was like, you know. Let's go for it.
I might have had her escape later if she could roll high enough, but the fact that you went to free her, that was very good. And the fact that like afterwards when you tried to shoot at her and you shot the animal rapist instead.
Yeah, so sometimes it doesn't work, right? But that makes it kind of funny. You know?
Yeah, that makes it pretty funny. Yeah.
In a way that. Yeah, so I find so I guess we had this conversation before, the whole turn-based combat thing as being a thing that I'd always found kind of, I never really understood it in video games, but now it does make actually a lot of sense within this particular context.
And actually it becomes like, since I started playing D&D, I find that I have a lot more tolerance for turn-based combat in video games. I'm like, oh, I see where this all came from. And I understand more about like stats, like strength, charisma, dexterity, and stuff like that. It all makes a lot more sense, and like, and some games even talk about like dice rolls behind the scenes and stuff like that, like certain like role-playing games.
Right.
And then once you play this, you're like, oh, I get it now. Like I see where everything comes from.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it never really made as much sense in the actual video game. It's like, what's the point of that? But yeah, I get it. I get it now. Because it's like you need a breather, sort of like.
Yeah, you need a breather, and you need to figure out like what are you gonna do. You know, what's the right option? Like how are you gonna go about this? And you know, where will Lester shoot his crossbow bolt?
Yeah. Oh, that poor guy. What's his name? Salvador. Poking him in the taint with the thing. I don't. With interrogating him.
Yeah.
That I don't know how you had that planned out. We decided to hold him kind of as hostage.
Yeah, hold him hostage. I figured he was a good guy to interrogate, but yeah, that was good as well. That was like improv. Also, wasn't quite sure how that was going to play out.
Yeah.
And the thing is now, so Salvador and Eder are half brothers, and they don't like each other very much, apparently. They're now in prison together with McGregor, actually. She's got, who knows? There might be like a sinister squadron of anti-Lester LeFoe people teaming up. Who knows what? Well, I'll think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Although Salvador's sentence should be lessened, right?
Salvador's sentence should be lessened. Yeah, we'll see. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll escape together. Yeah, Etter did say he was going to get out. So.
Yeah, I think Lester has to beef up security, especially if he's going to leave town for a while.
Yeah,
he's got to beef up security.
Probably got to beef up security. But yeah, first, since Lester and Claudia kind of explored the ins and outs of the city, I think now it's time to go to the countryside.
Yeah, maybe it's a good time to get out of town for a while.
Yeah.
Just let that blow over for a bit.
So in the future, in the next little campaign, we will learn a little bit more about Aquaria, a little bit more about the countryside, and maybe explore some of the southern regions of that J. Ellsworth map.
Oh, yes. Which is rather shit, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll try another one of those maps, actually.
Yeah, maybe you could do an updated one. Maybe like J. Ellsworth ends up releasing an updated edition.
Yeah, so in the sequel, well, in book 2, I guess I should say, they're basing there's Logan and some characters are traveling. They only have that map as for reference.
Yeah.
Yes, that particular map. Yeah, and because it's not drawn to scale, as noted in there, things take longer to get to. Anticipate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so, well, we'll see the area surrounding Aquaria, which will have some interesting changes in it.
Yeah.
And then who knows where the adventure will lead.
That'd be exciting.
All right. So on that note, I'm going to stop the recording because this is a longer session. This is 3 hours. All right.
3 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the recording and then
Okay.
we will continue next time with the case of the grandmotherly ghost.
Dun, dun, dun.